Hello, hi, hi guys. Happy birthday, by the way, Laurel. I know I keep saying her name wrong. I'm so sorry. It's Laurel now. And Ninja, hi. We're back to Virche. So right now, I decided since I only have like 4 hours to play, we're specifically going to be working on side stories. So the interludes, which I have my checklist ready to go to see how many I can get done. And then Friday, I'm going to have a long stream, and that's when we're going to start Eves. I think we're on Eves. We did Lucas. We did Mathis. We did Sheen. That leaves Eves, Adolphe, and Anku. And Anku's locked, and I think you have to do everyone else before you get to Anku. And then we still have the Drifter's story, which I still don't know what's going to happen there, so... Hello! Hi, guys. I also plan to stream tonight, but I'm not going to be playing Virche. I'm going to be playing Zelda tonight when we get home. Because I would like to finish Breath of the Wild before my birthday, which is in May. It's February now. I don't play it a lot, but if I have like 2-ish streams a month, I think I can manage it. We'll see. We will see. Hello, hi, hi, Delightful. Hello, hello, guys. Thank you for your patience on me being so slow lately. My new job is still killing me. But it's okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm going to have more consistency coming up. It's just that right now I'm closing, and that's because there was a change in someone's role. Someone left, basically. So I'm now closing when that wasn't my initial position. So because of that, though, I'm going to work at like noon. I'm getting home at like almost 11. I'm just tired. I'm just too tired. Life happens. I know, right? I'm like, oof, I'll get up early. And then I get up early and I'm like, I'm going to go back to bed. And then I get home from work and I'm like, I'm sleepy. So we're getting there. It's a process. But right now I have a good schedule. Next week is going to be kind of strange for streaming. And that's because I am scheduled on Tuesday when I'm usually off on Tuesdays. And that's because another coworker is taking some much needed rest. It's after the holiday. Everyone needs a break. So she's taking literally a week off to clean her house. So I'll be streaming, I think, Thursday and Friday, which means I will have a stream on Valentine's Day, which means I might have a Valentine's Day themed game to play. I'll always be here. Thank you, Delightful. I appreciate it. I just feel bad because I used to have a really consistent schedule, and right now I don't. So we're going to see how many of these we can get done today. That's my goal. And then tonight I'm going to play Zelda, and then question mark, question mark, question mark. Friday we will be playing more Virche. And then once we get to the end of Virche, I'm going to start PO4. I just decided I don't want to play 2 games at once because I was going to start PO4 before I finished Virche. But I'm like, nah, let's finish Virche, then we'll start PO4. And I think that'll be a good clean slate. So here we are. You get to hear me ramble because I haven't had a chance to ramble recently. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this. I got a new phone because my old one, I know I've been talking about it. When you opened it, the screen was flickering. So it's still the same kind of phone, but it's the not folding kind because I'm now terrified of the folding kind. That's all it took. It was the role of a parent to protect their children. Also, this one's called The Role of a Parent, so perfect time. So what was the role of a child? I also have new light bulbs in here, so I don't know if the lighting's going to be better or worse. It actually only has one of them on right now. There's 2. But when I had both of them on, it was very bright. There's something decided the moment. That's something that's decided the moment you're born. We're trying out new things. We're getting there. What to do? I mumbled to myself in the empty hallway. What prevailed in my mind was a young girl called Death, whom I took into this orphanage a month ago. I initially thought that a girl with such ominous rumors surrounding her would hold some secret related to the country's curse. After taking her in, all she ended up being was a normal sweet girl. That is not true. We know that's not true, but also, if you haven't run any tests, you can't prove it. No matter what secret may actually lie within her, I would never hand her over to Sheen now. She was just as sweet and adorable as Adolphe, whom I've come to love as my own son. However, she seems to believe otherwise.
人を殺すのを怖がってなかなか近づいてきてくれない。
She doesn't come close to me and the others out of fear of killing us. I didn't blame her. After all, nearly all with whom she had previously associated met an unexpected death. In fact, even after arriving here, the child that was rooming with her began to fall ill, which was why I prepared a room just for Leah.
それがさらに怖さを悪化させているのよね。
Of course, that decision is making matters worse as it's making her more fearful. It was possible she longed to fall asleep with the warmth of another person sharing the room.
あら？
Oh, I stopped for a moment. I saw one of the children standing ahead of me. He was a young boy by the name of Mael, who had become rather attached to Adolphe. I recalled that he was very excited to play with Adolphe, but something didn't seem quite right. I'm sorry, some random boy in a side story gets a name, but we have little girl D who never got a name and she had a speaking lines.
どうしたの？マエル。なんだかご機嫌斜めな顔をしているわね。
What's the matter, Mael? Look, you don't seem very happy. I knelt down to speak to him eye to eye.
僕は悪くない。
It's
ア
not
ド
my
ルフが
fault.
悪いんだ。
It's Adolphe's fault. Mael puffed his cheeks when he heard me call out to
あ
him.
ら、アドルフと喧嘩でもしたの？
Did you have a fight with Adolphe?
喧嘩はしてない。でも、アドルフが僕らにすごく怒った。
Not a fight, but Adolphe got really mad at us.
あいつのことを死神って呼んだら、二度と言うなって。
He yelled at us and told us to never call Leah death again. Listen, sometimes you can't accept it, sometimes you can.
どうして？僕たちはマムやみんなを守るために死神を追い出そうとしただけなのに。
How come he was mad? We were just trying to chase death away to protect you and everyone else.
どうしてアドルフは人を殺すあいつじゃなくて僕たちを怒ったの？
How come Adolphe got angry at us instead of that girl who kills people?
そう。
Oh. I knew that would happen eventually. This would happen eventually.
あなたはあの子が嫌いだからじゃなくて、みんなが心配だから意地悪をしたのね。
So you were treating her poorly because you don't like her? Not because you don't like her, but because you're worried about everyone else. Mael nodded in
その気
confirmation.
持ち自体は嬉しい。
Doesn't
でもね、
mean being a bully is
意地
okay.
悪されるってとっても痛くて辛いことなの。
I appreciate your thoughtfulness. But you now being mean to someone is a very hurtful thing. I don't know if I agree with the commas. I embraced Mal and spoke in a quiet voice.
私もね、家族だと思っていた人から
Did you know? When I lived with my
とっ
family,
てもひどい意地悪をされて死にかけたことがある。
they were so terribly mean to me that I almost died.
マムが。
Really, Mother?
そう。と失ってしまった。
That happened, right? That happened not just for me. Let me repeat that.
そう。そしてその意地悪に負けて大切な人を失ってしまった。
I'm also thinking about buying a new Elgato. Mine's isn't that old, and she's been kind of mean lately. Because of their meanness, I lost someone very precious to me.
あなたにはまだ難しい話かもしれないけれど、
I know this may be a bit difficult to understand,
何
but
かを守るという名目で人に意地悪をしても
if you're mean to her,
救われないのよ。
even for the sake of protecting others, it won't help anyone at all.
あの子を怖いと思ってしまう。その気持ちは 間違っていないわ。
I don't think it's wrong to be scared of her.
でもあの子もね、あなたたちと同じなの。
But you have to remember that she's no different from
こ
us.
こを追い出されたら飢えや寒さで死んでしまう。
If we got her out of here, she would die from hunger and cold.
でも
But
お願い、もう少しだけ私とあの子に
please,
時間をちょうだい。
I want you to give me and her a little more
あな
time.
たたちが安全に過ごせる方法を探してみせるから。
I will find a way for all of us to be safe while living together.
本当に
Really?
嘘をついてマムまであいつに殺されちゃったら
I don't want you to
やだ
lie
よ。
and end up getting killed by her.
ええ、私は死なないわ。自分で言うのもなんだけれど、しぶといことだけが取り柄なの。
I won't die. It may sound strange to say this, but I'm quite resilient and stubborn.
さあ、今日はもう眠りなさい。同室の子たちもきっとあなたのことを心配しているから。
Now then, you should go to bed. I'm sure the other children are worried and waiting for your return.
うん。マム、約束だよ。
Okay, it's a promise, Mother.
ええ、約束。母はことの約束を破りません。
Yes, a promise. A mother will never break a promise with their child. Mel repeated the promise many times before finally returning to the children's room.
どうしたものかしら。
What to do? Despite what I said to Mel, reality was harsh. Children were also afraid of death. Because they were so young, they may not be able to overcome the fear of something as complicated as
あの
death.
子を追放しろとわざわざ文句を言いに来る人もいるぐらいだし、
There have been others who came here to demand that Leah be removed
そ
from
の
here.
心ない言葉を子供たちが聞いていないとも限らない。
I can't dismiss that children may have heard that such heartless comments. What should I do?
愛する子供たちを今度こそ守りきることができるのかしら。
Am I able to truly protect my dear children this time? I didn't want to repeat my mistake.
リアム、どうか母様に天から力を貸して。
Liam, please grant your dear mother the strength I need from heaven. If anyone ever wanted to name their children after anime characters, this is the best time to do it. They're mostly French, so... The children must have fallen asleep after Mael's return. I continued to do my rounds inside the quiet orphanage. This isn't the carnival? Oh no, I'm sorry. I can't. When I was allowed to play. The rest I had to play off stream. I continued to do my rounds inside the orphanage. Along the way, I came across Leah's room.
さすがにもう寝ているかしら。
Basically, the carnival was, what do you call it? A preview. I got to preview it. Which I'm excited. I had to play it offline, though. I had to play it on my own time. I'm sure she's asleep by now. I have a pain. I slowly opened the door a bit to make sure she wasn't suffering from a nightmare. It didn't... Did it save incorrectly? Oh dear. Wait, I know I updated it. It said... Just in case, I'll save it again. Now I'm scared. Did it not save? I swear I put that I was playing Virche when I started it. Beep, 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 beep. I'm not sure. You got me nervous. I'm like, wait. I slowly opened the door a bit to make sure she wasn't suffering from a nightmare. Girl, I'm tired today too. Oh, my soul. Where is she? The entrance door was securely locked, so I highly doubted she was outside.
一体どこに？
Where could she have gone? Specifically with P-Cube, they're very strict with what they allow to be played on streams and stuff, so I usually can't So far, I haven't had a single PQ game where I'm allowed to play it all the way through. Dang, she's so pretty. Dude, I would date Salome. I'm down. I found my answer soon enough. She outside. Where is she? I searched the entire orphanage until I came across Z. Ah, me. Leah was sleeping quietly in Adolph's arms.
アドルフ、どうしてあなたがその子と一緒に？
Adolph, why are you with her like this?
この
Literally,
数
I'm a
日
little
で懐か
concerned.
れた。
I guess she sort of got attached to me. My hands rose to my mouth in surprise.
いつの間に？
Since when? Probably since he's been protecting her the whole time.
最初は悪夢にうなされるこいつを放っておくことができなくて、一緒に寝てやってたんだが。
I started sleeping next to her after I found out she was always having nightmares.
長時間一緒にいるにもかかわらず、死なないどころか咳一つしない俺に何か思うものがあったんだろうな。
I think she got close to me after noticing that I never even coughed despite being around her all the time.
不安に襲われるたびに俺の部屋に来て一緒に寝てくれとねだるようになった。
Since then, she's come to my room to ask to sleep here every time she gets lonely or scared. Adolph then explained very casually how he had Leah in his arms since she had a hard time falling asleep today.
そうだったの。
I see, so that's why.
けれど無理はしなくていいのよ。あなたにも自分の生活があるでしょ。
But you don't have to force yourself. You have things to do, right?
いや、確かに最初こそはこいつのことを厄介だと思っていたが。
You gotta give him credit, right? Because, like, his voice sometimes, like, for a split second, I know we had this conversation when I was playing the first Virche, because I was like, I remember very early on, I'm like, is this the same person? Like, his voice and Anku's voice, they are very nice to each other. I know they're different voice actors, and that's intentional because it's supposed to be talking about how, like, his voice changed due to the experiments, like, his facial features changed as well, so, like, but, like, there's moments where you listen to him and I'm like, ooh. At first I thought she was a nuisance, but she started to latch onto me. That's, like, the nicest thing you're gonna get out of me. I still don't like the brother
そうでもない。
paradox. She doesn't bother me much now. Adolph shifted his arms carefully to cradle Leah closer as if handling some
こ
treasure.
いつと一緒にいることができて、俺も嬉しいと思う。
I know it's strange, but I'm pretty happy being able to be with her too.
そう。
I see.
嬉しそうだな。
You look happy. That's never happened before, Mama.
息子と娘の仲が良くて喜ばない母はいないわ。
Any mother would be happy seeing her son and daughter there for each other. Careful not to wake up Leah, I patted Adolph on his head as a reward for him being a wonderful brother. Adolph, I finished sewing.
ああ、うまいな。
Looks good. Since then, I saw Adolph and Leah together much more often than before, even during the daytime. Slowly but surely, she began to open up to him as a brother as well as to me, since he relied on me. I would never forget the joy I felt when her tiny voice called me mother for the first time. Seeing the two of them together made me feel like they were true siblings. See? You can't say things like that and let me be like, and then they date. It was then that I realized that Adolph, as unique as he was, needed someone similar who could understand him. I was sure those two would become a true family from now. If possible, I would love for that family to include the other children and myself.
そのためにもあの子が普通に暮らせるように私が頑張らなくては。
In order for that to happen, I need to do my best so that Leah can have a normal life. I wouldn't lose to the baseline rumor, not a chance.
魂から腐りきったあの
They
連中
took
の悪意に
family
比べれば
literally.
どうってことない。
It's more like they took keep it in the family literally, and they need to quit that. Compared to the evil of those scoundrels rotten to the core, this is nothing. Still, Adolph was already an adult, which meant that he couldn't stay here forever. See, I know the orphanages exist because a lot of parents die at 23 because not everyone can afford to be a reliver in this universe, thus making this a necessity in this reality, because if you have a child at like 16, then that child is now going to have a parent at 7. However, like, sure, he's an adult now, but like you could hire him, right? Like, this is a government funded orphanage. When it finally came time for him to leave, Leah cried like never before. And she works there.
泣くな。何も永遠の別れってわけじゃないんだ。
Stop crying. It's not like this is the last time we'll ever see each
休み
other.
の日には会いに来る。俺がいない間、マムのことを頼んだぞ。
I'll come and see you on my days off. Be sure to take care of mother while I'm away. Okay. Adolph patted Leah on the head, then turned toward
今ま
me.
で世話になった。
You've done so much.
あんたが人生をかけて俺を育ててくれた分、
You've spent all these years raising
これから
me.
は俺が自警団の一員としてあんたやガキどもの命を守る。
So from now on, I'm going to protect you and the kids as a member as the corpse. The look in his eyes was deep and sincere, as if determined to communicate it fully. In his hand was a single dagger that was given as a gift to him from Leah. I knew he would cherish this gift from his younger sister, and use it to support his own strength.
この子たちを生贄としてシアンに捧げなくて
I'm so glad I
本当
didn't
によかった。
didn't sacrifice my dear children to Sheen. I was about to tear up, but before tears actually formed, I patted him on the head.
いってらっしゃい。私の自慢の息子。
Take care, my beloved son. Now remember this moment, because in the original Virche, at the end, when she's dying, guess who's screaming mother? It's Anku. Anku and Adolph are both screaming mom, because this is their mother.
恩返しなんて考えなくていいから
That's so
自
sad.
分がただ幸せになることを考えなさい。
There's nothing needed to pay me for. All I ask is that you think about how you can be happy.
どんな人生を歩もうと母が応援してあげるから。
No matter what you do in life, mother will always support you. It was the role of a parent to protect their children. So what was the role of a
そ
child?
んなの生まれた時から決まっている。
That's something decided the moment you're
親
born.
よりもずっと幸せになることよ。
It's to live even more happily than even your parents. Okay. A hard-working girl and her supporter. Dahat! Wait, I know the supporter thing, but like girl, wait. Who's the girl? Dahat's not a girl. Did I miss the fish? No, we haven't got to that page yet. We're currently on the first page of the side things. I think I showed this already, but this is my checklist to keep track of where we're at. Because there's so much. Because I still have to do Eve's sad salute and his news story at all. Anku, which I have question marks there because I'm not sure if he has the exact same things or not. And then I have the Drifter story as well. But I figured we'd do side stories today. But we're on the first page. I think that the fish one might actually be locked until we finish Eve's official route, because there's a couple that are locked. Learning about you was inevitable, but meeting you was sheer coincidence. If I knew sooner how dazzling you were, who would have I become? Oh, were we talking about? Oh, it's a cute little Dahat. And I just forgot her name. Oh my gosh, what's her name story? I made my way down the hallway filled with the smell of disinfectants and medicine. This facility was as sterile as the institute, but the scent was refreshingly different.
相変わらず患者さんたちからは親の仇のように睨まれてますけど。
Of course, the patients here are glaring at me as if I'm an enemy.
全然平気ですもんね。16日寝てないシアンさんの視線の方がよっぽど怖いですもん。
Not that it bothers me one bit. Sheen's way scarier when he glares at me after 16 sleepless nights. Furthermore, even if this hospital was rife with those who were simply waiting for death, I knew that there was at least one person who wanted to live a normal life instead. Where's my girl? There she is! Humming a tune, I opened the door.
ナディア、お見舞いに来ましたよ。今日は一緒に何を話
Nadia, I'm here to see how you're doing. What should we talk about?
ダハトくん、こんにちは。
Dahat, hello there! Oh my god, Nadia. Nadia deserves the world. The ruler of this room was tipping over as she greeted me, nearly about to fall off the bed.
うわあ、大一歩手前。明るく挨拶してる場合じゃないですよ、ナディア。
Whoa, that was close. Only you could smell while facing catastrophe, Nadia. Unlike me, she could have broken a bone by simply falling off the bed. I hurriedly dashed towards her to balance her back up.
新しいメモリーを開発する前に自分のメモリーが止まるところでした。
I thought my memory bank was going to pop before I could even develop a new one.
ダメですよ、ナディア。誰もいない時にこんな無茶しちゃ。
You shouldn't do this, Nadia, especially when no one is around to help. I raised my index finger to show that I was angry like this. We're like this.
ごめんなさい。ダハトくんを心配させるつもりじゃなかったの。
I'm sorry, I had no intention of worrying you, Dahat.
ただどうしてもベッドから降りてみたくて。
But I just really wanted to get out of bed.
ベッドの下に何か落としちゃったんです。
Did you drop something
そ
onto
れ
your
なら
bed?
僕が。
Let me...
違うの。言葉通りの意味で。
She's blushing. Why is she embarrassed? No, that's not it. I really just wanted to get out of bed.
一歩ぐらいなら自力で歩けないかなって試してみたくなったの。
I thought I'd at least try taking one step, you know, to test myself. Nadia's words had an unmistakable hint of sadness
そ
to
れ
them.
はまた急にどうして。
Why this all of a sudden?
特に理由はないの。
No special reason at all.
ただ今日はいつもより調子が良くてできる気がしたから。
I felt better than usual today, so I thought I could do it.
国中のお医者様やカプシーヌ先生はだと言うけれど。
That was everything. Okay, did I skip?
国中のお医者様やカプシーヌ先生は筋力がないに等しい私が歩くのはたとえ一歩でも無理だと言うけれど。
Staring at everything, because it was like nothing made a sound just then. Like, I don't know if that was OBS or not. Every doctor in this country, even Dr. Capuchin, said it's impossible for me to walk with how weak my muscles are, but
実際に試してみなくちゃ何もわからないと思うの。
I don't think we can know anything for sure until we try it. Despite knowing this, her body lacked the functions of a normal person. She still smiled brightly without doubt.
ですね。僕たち科学者だって実験や検証なしに結果を決めつけたりしません。
I see. We scientists also don't assume things until we actually conduct tests to validate our hypothesis.
でしょ？
Right? I didn't like assuming things were impossible either. Also, maybe this was just me, but
ナディアならいつか本当に自分で歩けそうですね。
I have a feeling you might be able to walk by yourself one
どんな
day.
困難にも負けない強い心を持っていますから。
After all, you have a strong heart that won't be defeated by any hardship. Here I was, actually believing in something without any
で
evidence.
もでもだからって一人で練習をするのは感心しません。
But that does not mean that you should practice by yourself like this.
ナディアはほんの少しの怪我が命取りになるんですからね。
You have to remember that your life can be in danger from just minor injuries, Nadia.
それは分かっているのだけど。
I know that, but
そこで
tell you what. Before Nadia's head could lower from guilt, I decided to propose an idea.
お見舞いに来た時でよければ僕がお手伝いしますよ。
If you don't mind waiting for me to come and visit, I can help you out.
他の人の協力を仰いでも反対されてしまうでしょ。
I mean, I bet the others here wouldn't help you even if you asked, right?
いいの？
Are you sure?
もちろん お友達の夢を応援するのは当然でしょ。
Of course, it's normal to root for a friend's dream, right?
怪我をしないよう僕がしっかり見ていてあげますから。
Oh,
それで問
Toka.
題なしです。
I'll make sure to keep an eye on you so that you won't get injured, so that you should take care of any worries.
ありがとう、ダハトくん。私、いっぱい頑張るから。
Thank you, Taha. That's like the third time. Like, hopefully my stream isn't like dying. Not still says broadcasting. I don't know if you don't see it. Okay, if you're watching the VOD and you're like, what is she talking about? My desktop audio and my mic just go dead for a few seconds. It's not very long. And I don't know if it's affecting my stream right now, but it's like the third time it's happened. The first time I thought it was just my Elgato messing up, but I'm noticing it's also doing it to my mic at the same time, so it might need an update. I'll check it after my stream today. Thanks, Tahat. I'll do my very best. Her smile, reminiscent of a flower, showed her sincere joy at my proposal. Censoring is how rude. Honestly, this is my favorite. This is my favorite, like, best friends in another life kind of Katy Perry style. They could have a different story.
とはいえ、いきなり歩くのは危険です。
That
まず
said,
は棚を支えに安定して立つことから始めましょう。
let's have you practice with props to hold yourself up, okay? Yes, sir.
リュカさんの妹である君にそう呼ばれるなんて新鮮ですね。
Being called sir by Lucas's sister sure does feel different. I had her sit in her wheelchair, then moved her close to the sturdy-looking shelf.
それじゃあ早速。
Okay,
せーの。で、足に力を入れてみてください。
let's get started. Try to tense the muscles in your legs when I pull you up.
わかったわ。
Okay. Nadia's lips tightened as she prepared
せ
herself.
ーの。
Ready, go. I pulled Nadia up by the hands and her body lifted from the wheelchair, but it only lasted for a moment. Unable to hold up her weight, she quickly fell back into the wheelchair.
歩くまではまだまだ道のりが遠そうね。
Looks like I got a long way to go before I can walk.
大丈夫ですよ、ナディア。人間の子供だってこんな状態から自力で立てるようになるんです。
Don't you worry, Nadia. Everyone in the world starts learning to walk like this, you know.
むしろ僕の方が力不足で申し訳ない。成人してる体なら君を支えることができたんですけど。
If anything, I'm sorry for not being strong enough. If I had an older body, I'm sure I would have been able to support you.
ダハトくんは悪くないわ。私が怪我しないように一生懸命支えてくれるでしょ。
It's funny because she looks bigger than him right here. Because they've made her, like, closer. No, it's not your fault, Taha. You did support me just now, so I wouldn't get
一番
hurt.
頑張るべきは私なの。ダハトくんにばかり頼ってないで。
I'm the one who
なんと
should
か
be
しな
doing
くちゃ。
better. I can't be relying on you the whole time. And with that, Nadia reached out to me to give me another shot.
やっぱりこの子は
She sure is.
眩しいな。
She's truly is dazzling. If I were in her shoes, I would have given up on the first try. Her smile, her determination, I felt like she was the one giving me the strength I needed.
よし、何百回だってお付き合いしますよ。
Alright, I'll help no matter how long it takes.
いつか一歩でも自力で歩いてゆかさんを驚かせましょう。
Let's surprise Monsieur Proust by having you walk to him on your own. I held Nadia's hand as I envisioned a dream for their future.
きっと
Yes, one day. She responded and tightened her grip on my hands with all of her might. Since then, I would help her practice in secret each time I visited. After some time had passed,
せーの。
ready, go.
立てたわ。ダハトくんに支えてもらいながら。
I did it! I'm standing. I know you're supporting me, Dahat, but
や
still.
りましたねナディア
You did it, Nadia. Oh dear. I wiped her sweat from today's training session and gave her my heartfelt praise. But immediately after. Nadia! I somehow managed to catch Nadia before she collapsed to the floor.
安心したら力が抜けちゃった
I guess I relaxed my muscles too much just now.
もうびっくりさせないでくださいよ
Don't surprise me like that. I slowly helped her back into the standing position. I watched her teeter and totter on her legs like this with anxiety inducing, but I suppose this could still be called a success. As I convinced myself of it, Nadia suddenly voiced a
ね
thought.
えダハトくん今日はこのまま歩く練習をしちゃダメかしら
Dahat, is it okay for me to practice walking right now? She began to say how she wanted to go one step further with her effort.
えダメではないですけどナディアも今日はそろそろ体力が限界なんじゃ
Sure, it's okay, but Nadia, aren't you dead tired for today already? I tried to calm her a bit so that she didn't wear herself out too much.
ううん
No,
私
I
まだまだ自分で頑張れる
I can still do more, a little more.
頑張れることが嬉しいの
It's so fun doing my very best. Is it me? No, okay. I pressed the button, I swear. I was like, it's froze. It froze again. I see.
ずるいですよそんな楽しそうに微笑まれたら断れないです
That's not fair. How can I refuse when you're having so much fun with that smile? I took a deep breath and held her hand once more with a sense of resolve. It was way past time for me to head back to the institute, but I wanted to stay and help her. I could work late tonight anyway.
あのねもしダハトくんに手伝ってもらって一歩でも歩けるようになったら
I'm sure I'll be able to walk myself one day with your help, and
兄様が優しい声で呼んでくれた時自分から歩み寄ってみたいの
I'm gonna walk towards my dear brother when he calls my name with his gentle voice.
それが叶ったらリュカさんびっくりするでしょうね
I'm sure Lucas will be surprised beyond belief then. Just the thought made me smile. Oh, Dahat. The dream she sought so dearly was so normal that it made her even more beautiful. It was as if she was showing the right way to live as a human.
見てダハトくん今少しだけ
Look,
歩けたよ
Dahat,
うな気がしたわ
I think I was able to walk a little bit. I would probably pay for my sins one day for using her brother. There was no future where I could remain friends with Nadia.
僕はいずれこの国を滅ぼすものではあるけれど
I will one day become I will
少しでも明るくしたいと思いますよナディア
I will do what I can to make that path you tread as bright as possible, Nadia. Seeing you do what you could with your very best, what? Seeing you do what you could with your very best was so dazzling indeed. Aw. That one's great. That was a good one. I like that one. Those two, the world. It's exactly what he wants. To destroy it. It's beautiful. Alright, so this one, oh. Oh no. Part of me doesn't even want to do this one. Oh no. I am kind of done with Jean. Kind of done with this guy. He stole all of Mathis's story. He doesn't need anything else. He's done. He did so much. I didn't want a future without you. I would come after you at all costs should you disappear from the world, but There was no assurance that I would meet you in the unknowable world of death. So I'd cling with all of my might to the possibility that I would see you again in the world of the living.
苦しいほど君のことを愛してる。
I am madly in love with you.
美しいロザリー、どうか俺の妻になってくれ。
My beautiful Rosalie, please be my wife.
出会ったばかりの娼婦に求婚だなんて
Proposing to a prostitute
Anata.
you just met.
とっても趣味が悪いわね。
You have bad taste, you know? The man known as Camille Cloud met his destined love at a certain bar. Rosalie lived a life scorned by society as someone who was born in the slums and became a reliver prostitute. She's not a reliver yet. She's just a prostitute. But with her golden hair, she was so beautiful that she won everyone's heart. I was completely captivated the moment I laid eyes on her. Yes, it was my love. It was love at
何も
first
かも
sight.
が愛おしい。俺は必ずロザリーの夫になってみせる。
Everything about you is adorable. I will make sure that I become your husband, Rosalie. I didn't care about the differences in our standing. I would win your love no matter what. I kept going to the same bar over and over again in an attempt to romance
今日
you.
も美しいな、ロザリー。
You're as beautiful as ever, Rosalie.
今日は俺が酒をおごるから、君の好きなものや
It's
愛するもの
funnier
を丸ごと教えてくれ。
if you picture Rosalie from Super Mario Brothers. I'll buy you all the drinks you want, so tell me everything about you and what you love.
俺も君と同じものを愛せるようになりたいんだ。
I want to get myself to love everything that you love.
今日もあなたは元気ね、カミーユ。
As noisy as usual, aren't you, Camille?
そんなことを娼婦に言ったら、宝石やお金をねだられてしまうわよ。
Say that to any of the other girls and they will ask you for money and jewelry.
君にならいくらだって騙されてもいいさ。
I could care less whether you say such things to me to take my riches.
私じゃなくても、家柄がしっかりした綺麗な女性は他にもいるでしょ。
You do know it doesn't have to be me, right? There are many beautiful women of proper standing for you.
君以外の女と結婚するぐらいなら、リコリスを自ら倒って死んでやる。
I'll snap a Lycoris with my bare hands and kill myself if I have to marry someone other than you.
俺は君がいいんだ。一目で俺の心を奪ったロザリーという女神がいい。
I want you and you alone. I want the goddess Rosalie who stole my heart at first sight.
私がこの国を呪う死神のような
What if I was the Grim Reaper?
あなたの財産目当ての性悪だったら、
Wicked woman
Don't
after your
な
future.
に、その時は俺もそんな君にふさわしい
I'll become a
悪党。
scoundrel.
そ
This
うすれ
is
ば俺たち
repeating.
嫌なやつ同士でお似合いだろ。
We'd make a nice couple of jerks together, wouldn't we?
もう本当に
You really do have bad
けれど。
taste.
そんな悪趣味なあなたが
But I like you.
好きよ。
And your bad taste. I was happy. Even if you didn't sway to me, I would have given my heartfelt thanks for the miracle of getting to meet someone as beautiful in body and soul as you, which was why I just couldn't accept the ending you met. I transitioned from a joyful memory of being with her into a dimly lit area. To be precise,
夢か。
dream. It looked like I fell asleep during my experiments. A capsule was placed atop the equipment my supporter had prepared. The words error was displayed across the status screen.
くそ。また失敗か。
It failed again. I clicked my tongue at the same results as before and slammed my fist against the equipment in frustration. I was trying to download a false memory that I put together. I found out through recent tests that this would work best on embiotic cells I harvested from pregnant women. I had been abducting prostitutes and killing them so that I could download new memory data into their cells, but the cells cultured were unstable and deteriorated, unable to assimilate the false memory that I downloaded.
クロード家が司る翻訳の力なんて何の役にも立たない。
The Cloud family translation skills are no use to me. I was attempting something even the god who saved the country could not accomplish, bringing a person back to life. As someone with no scientific background, the odds of me achieving this were lower than the odds of the curse itself being
だ
broken.
からって諦めてたまるか。
That doesn't mean I should give up. I got right back to the device and restarted another round of experiments. You know, it'd been cooler if he had blonde hair right now.
愛しいロザリーともう一度会うためなら
I'll do anything I can so that I can see my beloved Rosalie come back.
この国の娼婦を全員狩り尽くすことだってしてやる。
I will kill every last prostitute in this country to make that happen. I was a man of my word. Indeed, I had abducted and killed many, many prostitutes thus far, and yet my experiment did not yield any positive results. Fearing my deed would come to light, my supporter ordered me through the transmitter to lay low for the time being.
なんでだよ。休んでいる暇なんてないってのに。
I have no time to waste waiting for
ロ
nothing.
ザリーだって一刻も早く俺に会いたいはずだ。
I'm sure Rosalie wants to see me as soon as possible, too. As if responding to my words, Rosalie's body moved a little inside the capsule, protecting her. Was there an earthquake? Before I could react, her frail, pale arm, her hand slowly lowered down to her belly. I must admit, there was one set of cells that I had stored in my laboratory. That night when I found Rosalie covered in blood, thinking that she would be saddened to know our child was dead, I did what I could to save their cells.
それを使うか。
Maybe I should use them. I like his like straight. But what if I failed?
俺はロザリーだけではなく子供まで失ってしまうことになる。
I will not only have lost Rosalie, but I would lose our child. You already lost them both. They're both gone.
それが
So what? The only person I loved in this world was Rosalie. I even killed my parents for her sake after they found out about my atrocities.
愛しい子供だろうがなんだろうが利用してやる。
He's so pretty, how unfortunate. I know, right? But also, like, he works better in small doses. I will say in Virche, his story was sad. And, like, you know, loving so much that you go with this kind of crazy. So interesting. But, like, they made way too much of a focal point on him on this one. I mean, he was a monster. He still is a monster. I will use anything I can, even if it's our beloved child. Is it beloved? Is it beloved? Then the fateful moment arrived. The very last cluster of cells took shape. In them, I was able to cultivate memories of a boy who lost his older brother. Homunculus. Oh man, our little homunculus. It came to life with silver hair, similar to me before I dyed my hair black.
これがホムンクルス。
Finally, a homunculus.
ロザリーに再会するための足がかり。
My key to finally being able to see Rosalie again. I still needed to do some tests on it to see if the memories I downloaded were there, but for some reason I felt like the experiment was a success. What I saw here was merely a test subject, so depending on the results I would simply discard it, but it looked too much like her to treat it so recklessly. What if it had been born to Rosalie and me in a country without this curse?
仕方ないな。
Guess I have no choice.
もし実験が成功してロザリーが蘇る時が来たら
If the experiment really is a success and Rosalie comes back to life,
その時はお前のこと俺と彼女の子供として
I
扱って
suppose
やってもいい。
she and I can treat you as our
だ
child.
から早く俺に
最良の結果を見せてくれ。
So show me the best possible result from this
そ
experiment.
の暁にはそれなりにこだわって名前をつけてやるからさ。
I suppose when that happens, I'll give you a name with a bit more thought. I wondered if the day would ever come when I'd be able to see our child grow up like this. What? A twisted man's oh, Shane! Shane's in this one. I sneezed. All right. Capuchin? No! I don't want Capuchin. I never cursed God as much as when I discovered that such a man existed. Of all people, why him? I should be the one loved by God. I mean, it depends on which God we're referring to, let's be so real. And next to me would be the perfect bride, befitted someone as of my greatness. Past midnight, I walked through the silence of the hospital's hallways alone. My eyeball is itching, but like, why? I had only one objective. You stay away from my sweet baby. It was to see the quiet, sleeping face of my future bride.
ああ、ナディア。美しき遺伝子を保管する君は、器までもが美しいね。
Nadia, the genes inside you are beautiful, but so are you as their vessel. Of course, her beauty was no match for the beauty of the double helix I loved so much.
少しばかり顔色が悪いな。
An ad would be nice right now. She looks a little pale. I hope this is a short one. Oh my
しか
god.
し今日の検査では特に病は悪化していない。
Capuchin's another great example. His character, when they first introduced him into the game, previously we thought he was adorable and funny. Because he's all like, you guys better behave. And then it's like, actually, I'm the devil. I'm like, damn it. Like, I called Dahat way early and Lucas way early. And then they just suck so hard. There was just so many bad people in Virche, when you think about it. Like, there's just so many bad people. There weren't any negative results from today's checkup.
気温の変化による不調か。今日は昨晩に比べて冷えるからな。
Perhaps it's the change in climate. It's quite cold compared to last night. I checked on Nadia's condition as I continued writing in her
理想
chart.
の花嫁とする前に肉体が死んでしまっては意味がないからね。
It makes no sense for her body to die if she's to become my perfect wife.
体調管理は徹底しなければ。
I need to make sure that she's in good shape. To be honest, I wouldn't mind creating my bride from her and marrying her new form, but
リュカがとっとと寿命を迎えてシアンプロフィワーツもろとも死んでくれればいいもの。
if only Lucas just died already from the short longevity along with the cursed Sheen Brilfi, I would then be able to prepare for her brainwashing during their absence. I must admit that Lucas was a monster, so he likely wouldn't die anytime soon. And yet, through genetic engineering, I would edit her double helix into a new form, which was why I believed that what lay beyond the transformation was the future form of humankind. I dove into researching the creation of new humans, a more beautiful double helix, with the most refined genetic information.
趣味ならよそでやれ。
Enjoy your hobbies somewhere else, but my efforts were refuted by the man known as a god.
人間を延命させるために遺伝子を研究している施設で。
This institute is dedicated to researching genes to extend humans'
遺
life.
伝子のために人間もどきを作るバカな研究がなぜ必要とされると思っている？
You say bakemono? Did he say monsters?
遺伝子のために人間もどきを作るバカな研究がなぜ必要とされると思っている？
Bakane, maybe something like similar to when they say monsters in other stories. I have no use for foolish experiments that create. Well, he does say foolish, so I could also just be baka in general. That create fake humans simply for the sake of genes.
大体だな。お前が数年かけて完成させたこの尊き研究とやら。
Let me add this precious research of yours that took years to complete.
かつて俺が1週間程度で構築し、使えないと捨ておいたものとほぼ同じだが。
I constructed a roadmap for a similar idea within a week, but tossed it out as something useless. I felt both shame and despair at the same time.
神に愛されたあの男ですら
Even that man loved by
遺伝子
God.
の美しさに気づくことができないのだ。
Even he couldn't recognize the beauty of genes. In that case,
ならば他の誰でもない私が究極の美を作り上げ未来へとつながなければならない。
I am the one and the only one who must lead the masses to the future by creating the pinnacle of beauty. And what else? Ever read The Island of Dr. Moreau? With the help of an unknown supporter and the royal family lured by the sweetness of eternal youth and life, I was able to overcome my past and take over the cult so that I could conduct all the research I wanted. I now have the greatest assassin I could find, Lucas Proust. It was no longer a mere dream to get rid of Shin Borofi and become a new king of technology in this country. I mean, technically it is. It hasn't come true yet. It's still a dream. That was weird. I snapped out of my thoughts and returned to the present, hearing Nadia cough in her sleep. The coughing wasn't substantial and it was nothing critical to her health.
安心したまえ、ナディア。君はもうすぐその苦しみから解放される。
Don't you worry, Nadia. You will be released from your suffering soon.
私の花嫁になれば、苦痛を感じる思考など残らないのだから。
After all, once you become my bride, you will no longer even think of pain. I cannot wait. I'm not gonna let him finish that thought.
夫婦となった暁には、君という伴侶を永久に大事にすると、神に誓おう。
Once we're husband and wife, I will vow to God to take good care of you as my partner for
愛して
eternity.
いるよ。私のナディアの美しい遺伝子。
I love you, my Nadia, my beautiful genes. I hate him. Sir, currently looking for a screwdriver for my ears. Oh, I thought it was the drink. That's, you know what? We got a picture this time. Wait, oh, no, that's the bottom. We're not there yet. We're not there. We're here. Oh, man, I got excited. For no reason. All right, we might get there. That might be where we end today. We'll see. Some of them are shorter than others, which I appreciate. That one definitely didn't need to be long. A parting gift to a hero. And it has eaves. He deserves the world. Hugo. Man, maybe not.
Sorry
to drag you into such a dangerous mess. You can bail right now if you...
おいおい、バカ言うなよ。今さら俺だけのけ者にしようなんて絶対に許さねえぞ。
Hey, hey, stop right there. I'm not gonna let you two leave me out of this now. But...
どうしても罪悪感があるなら、歴史をまた辿って再会したとき、長い旅の土産話をしてくれればいいさ。
I'm prepping for the next round because Hugo does not interest me. If you guys really feel bad for me, just tell me everything that's happened when you leap back in time to see me again. Oh! Is this when they save a Dolph slash Anku and time travel? I said that, but I just wanted to tag along. I was a reliver, but I still had friendship inside me. My best friend was gonna go down the path of saving the girl he loved. If only I were able to be with my partner to help pave the way. Run. Run. Continue running. I sent off my immortal friend who went to get the technology to traverse time. It was time now for me to go to my partner, my friend. My partner, wink. My partner. The institute was bright with lights from the emergency situation. The entrance was littered with the bodies of a good number of guards. I hurried past the bodies and opened the door to the shrine where the god awaited. Before me was a sight that could only be described as horrific. I don't know why Anku and or Adolf wasn't lit up on this one. I looked around to see burned bodies upon bodies piled on each other. I heard something. I quickly dashed towards the sound to see in front of me the body of the one who was called a god. Hugo, that's Eve's. There on the floor was my partner, his body impaled by multiple swords. Eve's. Moving his was dangerous, so I instead shook his shoulders to keep him awake. Just wait, you let me. After confirming that he was conscious, I quickly moved to patch up his wounds, but I saw a single dagger impelled straight into his heart. I could only assume that the now dead Sheen Brophy landed the blow. Why am I still alive? The blow was so sudden that even he was questioning his situation. I could tell now that I took a better look that he wasn't gonna make it. A pool of blood was spreading out from Eve's. As the blood slowly spread, the light from Eve's artificial eyes was slowly dimming. I see. Eve's was smiling as if he was having a good dream. I'm sure there's a god. That god is giving me some time to say goodbye to my good partner. Are you stupid? You just killed that god with your own hands. He didn't change one bit, even on the brink of death. I bit deeper down on my lips as the blood spread. I waited for Eves to continue speaking. There was no use for me to cause commotion now. If I shook him and told him to hang on, I might miss the last words Eve may have to leave in this world. That was something I needed to avoid for the sake of Adolf, too. I'm sorry. To be honest, I wanted to go with Adolf. I was supposed to go back in time with seeing us off. And that's when he goes, and I loved her too. No need to apologize. Because of you, Adolf was able to head out to save the girl he loves. I feel bad leaving him alone, but I'm sure he'll do just fine.
なんだって、俺ら自警団の団長で
After all,
親友なんだからな。
he's our boss, the leader of the corps, and our friend.
そっか。
You're right. Eves had a sleepy face, as if he had felt reassured by my words. He then held his crushed throat and looked at my face.
でも君のことは心配だな。
But I'm worried about you.
アドルフがいなくなって俺も死んで。
With Adolf gone and me about to die. You know. Did you not get backed up before you started to die? You could be backed up right now. It'd be fine. Didn't you get free revives for life, you know? Having saved the universe one time.
ヒューゴのこと一人に
Hugo, you're gonna be alone. Hugo's been alone. He deserves it. A single teardrop.
本当にバカだな。最後の最後までお前は
Like, you really are
人のこと
stupid.
ばっかり気にしやがって。
I can't believe you're worried about someone else until the very end. Tears that I hadn't shed for years fell from artificial eyes. I could now say it was a lie that relivers didn't inherit emotions upon moving into another body. If that were true, why did I see so many things in my mind now? Why are the memories of us three together gripping my chest?
Oh, お前なんかいなくたって
Even without you.
俺は一人で立派にやっていけるんだよ。
I can do just fine. I'm able to live alone.
だから安心して天に昇って
So just take it easy. Get yourself to heaven.
アドルフの旅を見守りやがれ。バカイブ。
Go and watch Adele from the above, you idiot Eves.
そっか。
Gotcha.
それなら安心した。
I feel a lot better now. Eves didn't show any pain. He was satisfied with what I said, breathing a deep sigh of
ヒ
relief.
ューゴ兄さん
My brother.
今までずっと一緒にいてくれて
Thank you for being with me all this time.
最後に会いに来てくれて本当にありがとう。
Thank you for coming to see me off one last time. As if he were snow
君
melting.
が俺の相棒でよかった。
I'm glad you were my partner.
アドルフが向かった向こうでも会えたら
If we do meet where Adolf is headed,
また俺の相棒になってくれる？
will you be my partner again?
当たり前だろ。んな当然のことを今さら聞くんじゃねえよ。
Of course, you don't even have to ask something like that, you know? He smiled with satisfaction at my answer
楽
then.
しかったな。
Life was good. Satisfied with the life he had, he quietly fell asleep. I took a step back.
最後の最後までお前はのんきだったな。
You really were easygoing until the damn end. There was nothing more I could do. This place was going to be marauded by the country soldiers soon. I was sure they were going to take Eves and everyone else's body as traitors. To be honest, I wanted to bring them back to Courrune, even if I had to drag him.
だがイブは俺が生きていることに安心して死んだ。
Eves died knowing that I was alive and that I'd be fine. I need to live. Eves wouldn't find it funny seeing me killed by soldiers over his body. I dashed through the area without any bodies to get outside the institute. I looked up to see that there weren't many glittering stars.
3人で酒飲めねえんだな。
I guess we three can't have drinks anymore. I was going to have to live my life with that as reality. I would also live through the pain of not being able to be being with my friends when they died.
それでも俺は生きる。
I have to live in this cursed country. Live so that I would never forget the two friends I got to know while laughing and drinking like idiots. Oh, that guy. Million people in this one, jeez. Excellent, excellent. We're making progress. We're making the progression. Other. Arpachel's last king, Liam Brevpoor, was about to sentence the citizens to death, but through many sacrifices he was thwarted and many lives were spared from the curse of death. Which reality are we in? The men involved were now running about to help and keep watch over the young woman who endured the curse left behind by the king.
わざわざ来てもらって悪いな。まだ喋ることはできないが、あいつもお前らの見舞いを喜んでいた。
Sorry to have you guys come over. Leah can't talk yet, but she's happy you guys came to visit.
いえ、僕たちも彼女の様子が気になってましたから。
Not at all. We came because we wanted to see how she was doing. Is this after... it's after we killed Liam? Yeah. This is after... So this is after the good final ending, where Liam dies because his mother kills him and or vice versa, and then Anku kills himself, if I recall correctly. We came because we wanted to see how she was doing.
少しずつですが、病状は良くなってきているようですね。
Sounds like her condition is improving somewhat.
ああ、シアンの治療もあってな。
Yeah, thanks to Sheen's treatment.
俺としてはさっさと特効薬作りをしたいんだが、呪いを放置した是非を問われてはな。
I would rather return to making more antidotes, but I accept responsibility for letting the curse roam free all these years.
素直に彼女を助けたいって言いましょうよ。
You could just say honestly that you want to help her. Eves isn't wearing his mask right now. Did I see that? The 5 men were talking to each other as Leah slept in the another room. The reason they came together was to see how she was doing, but also...
それじゃ今日
No, he's
は
wearing it.
俺とアドルフが彼女の護衛だね。
Today is me and Adolph's turn to guard
まだ
Leah.
聖女の噂は消えてないから、しっかり警戒しないと。
We need to keep our guard up since the rumor about her being a saint is still out there.
ああ、頼む。
Yeah, thanks for the help. Our top priority was ensuring Leah's safety. She was worshipped as the Lycoris saint who was to save the country from the various incidents. There was quite a few who still believed she was to be worshipped, leaving her open to be a target of abduction.
やれやれ。
Classic.
エクソシスト教団も解体されたというのに。
And to think that the Society of the Exorcists has already been abandoned.
歪んだ信仰が生まれてしまうのは閉鎖的な国の定めなのでしょうか。
Perhaps it's this country's isolation that caused such warped beliefs.
その噂を否定するためにもしっかり直さないとですね。
Which is why we need to get her back to house so we can refute that rumor, right? Right?
体中にリコリスが咲いている今の彼女が外に出たら、
If she ever steps outside with the Lycorises all over her body.
それこそリコリスの聖女として祭り上げられてしまいます。
There's no telling how many more will see her as the Lycoris' saint and worship her again.
想像するだけでお
Just
じ
the
けが
thought
するな。
scares me. The 4 men had their guard up, but in turn, the god of this country yawned with boredom.
くだらん。この5人が集まっていれば連中も手出ししてこないだろう。
Why worry? No one will dare think of doing anything to her with us around. Not surprising for him to say that, since rumors spread far and wide of the valiance shown by Adolf and the others. The rumor then began to take a different and more robust form.
僕、車に乗ると人格が表変して、誰彼構わず引く男だって噂されてました。
People are now saying that my personality changes every time I get behind the wheel and I run over anyone who gets in my way.
マティスはまだいい方じゃない？
At least that's not too bad, Mathis.
俺なんてアンクーみたいに殺しても死なない不死身の男って言われて血を何度も取られそうになったんだから。
Everyone says I'm an immortal like Anku who can't die, so people keep coming after me to get my blood. That's a mood, just to run people over.
本当に悲しい限りです。
A sad state we're in indeed. Lucas, I don't believe you.
私などハルバードを振るい、あらゆるものを破壊し尽くす世界が生んだ破壊魔と呼ばれる始末。
People say I'm some sort of demon causing havoc, destroying things with a halberd.
それは間違っていないだろう。
That's not even a rumor.
やめろ、余計な波風を立てるな。
Stop stirring things up. Just happened, bro. People say I murdered a bunch of relivers and took their hearts. And they're like, yeah, you did that. The pure-hearted Eves and Mathis consoled Lucas as he pretended to cry.
でも、それも皆さんが強いからこその噂ですよね。
The rumors wouldn't spread like this if you weren't so strong.
それぞれ戦い方も全然違いますし。
It seems like we all fight differently too. If only this was like a hack and slash game, right guys? Right? We'd all die.
そうだね。俺とアドルフも剣を使っているけど、形が全然違うし。
Yeah, Dolph, I use swords, but the style we employ are different.
イブ君はどういう経緯で再剣を使うことになったのですか？
How did you come to learn using a rapier? Why did the font? Why is it different colors? A slim and sharply pointed sword used as a thrusting weapon. Finding something else to talk about, the three of them started to chat.
これは師匠が用意してくれた剣なんです。
It was given to me by my old boss.
父が？
My father.
はい。俺は身軽で飛んだり跳ねたりしながら戦うのが向いてるから。
He told me that I should use my light frame and fight using the area, dashing and jumping.
極力頭身が細いものを使って動きの邪魔にならないようにって。
He gave it to me saying that a sword as fine as this wouldn't get in my way.
なるほど。
I see.
マティスはどうしてナイフを武器に選んだの？
What about you, Mathis? Why are knives your weapon of choice? He's like, because I like being...
剣を振るうための力が足りなかったからです。
It's pretty simple. I don't have the strength required to wield a sword.
その分投擲技術を磨いて戦えるように訓練してました。
So instead, I trained myself to fight using projectiles. Did he say kunais?
その分投擲技術を磨いて戦えるように訓練してました。
It's like, I swore he said jujitsu. Instead, I trained myself to fight using projectiles.
こうして考えると、武器って当人の特色が出る
Come
な。
to think of it, a person's weapon of choice says a lot about
だ
them.
ね。アドルフは持久力があるから大きめの剣をしっかり構えて振ることに向いてるし。
Yeah, you're good at swinging your huge sword since you have muscles and stamina.
先生が使っていたハルバードは組み立て式なのか？
So Lucas, is that halberd of yours detachable?
ええ、そうですよ。今は持っていませんが、
Yes, indeed. I don't have it with me now,
普
but
通の男性が3人がかりでようやく運べる重さです。
it's heavy enough to require at least 3 men to lift.
そうか。
I see.
正体を知られてから堂々と自分の化け物ぶりを語るようになってきたな。
You're a lot more open about how much of a monster you are now that everyone knows who you are. Shane was reading a book he found in the room as he mumbled this
そうい
sentence.
うシアンさんはどういう経緯で蹴りをしたいとした戦いを？
And what led you to focus on your martial arts around kicking, Sheen?
護身用の探検などは 持ち歩かれているようですが、それならいっそ最初からそれで戦えばいいのでは。
I noticed that you carry a dagger for self-defense, but why not use that as your weapon? I don't know why my phone acted like I got a text message. Oh no, I did get a text message. Just kidding. Was just hidden in emails. Alright, I noticed that you carry a dagger for self-defense, but why not use that as your weapon?
剣なんぞより俺の足の方が長くて有利だろ
My legs are longer and give me an advantage over some lousy blade.
う。冗談だ。まさか信じたわけじゃないだろうな。
Just kidding. I hope none of you actually believe that.
あ、いえ、そんなことは。
Look how tall he is. I mean, let's be real. I believe it. Well, sure.
あんたの冗談は分かりづらいんだよ。
It's hard to tell if you're joking or not.
剣を構えるよりも体を使った方が早い。
The reason's
それだけだ。
simple. It's faster to kick than to brandish a sword. Eves then jumped back into the conversation.
みんな実力者であることには変わりないよね。
It doesn't change the fact that we're all pretty good
開
fighters.
国したアルペシェールはこれから激動の時代を迎えるかもしれないし、
Now that Arpachel's opening up to the world, we're probably going to enter an era of drastic change.
仲間が強いのは心強いよ。
Hiccups, oh gosh. So having guys like you around is reassuring.
ですね。事件が解決したからって油断しないで、訓練は続けようと思います。
I concur. I'm planning on continuing my training so that I don't let my guard down after everything that happened.
それなら早速、ここにいる皆でやりますか？
If so, may I propose we start now that we have everyone here?
断る。面倒くさい。
No, stop bothering me.
そう言わずに。
Come
シアンさんも
now.
研究と会議ばかりで体がなまっているでしょ？
I'm sure you need some exercise after all the meetings and researches.
お、
Oh.
せっかくならただ訓練するんじゃなくて総当たりで勝負しない？
If we're gonna do some training, how about we actually go against each other?
一番勝った人には賞品として何でも言うことを聞かせる権利とか。
Whoever wins can tell anyone what to do or something.
ほう。それはちょうどいいな。ちょうど被験者が足りなかったところだ。
Oh, perfect timing. I was running out of test subjects.
シアンさんが勝つとは限りませんよ。私も一度家に戻って歯を潰したハルバードを持ってきます。
There's no guarantee you'll win, Sheen. I'll have to go back home first and build the halberd of my blade.
わあ、すごくいい勝負になりそうですね。
Yeah,
アドル
this
フさん。
all sounds exciting, doesn't it, Adolf? Right?
それは構わねえんだが、取りに戻るってことはまさか。
Sure, whatever. But when you say you're gonna go back home to get it, does that mean...
Ha 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 ha. どうした？
Is that
そ
all
の
you've
程度
got?
か？
武術は好きではありませんが、
I do enjoy fighting,
神
but
と称される男に挑む機会などめったにありませんからね。
it isn't very often one gets the chance to face someone known as a god.
おお、すごい勝負。二人とも頑張って。
Wow, look at them go! Do your best, both of you.
やっぱり俺の家でか？やめろお前ら！人の庭を破壊すんな！
Of all the places, my place? Stop it, you guys are destroying my lawn.
ああ、庭の中心に大きな穴が。
There's a gaping hole in the middle of the garden now.
これだからお前らが俺の家に揃うのは嫌なんだ。
This is the exact reason I didn't want you guys here in the first place. I felt like it kind of ended in a weird way. Alright, alright. The road ahead is paved in red. Yay! Red is a good color. It's the color of ketchup, as we all know pretty well by now. Dahat!
あら
Okay.
ゆる悪意と執着は僕という名の王にひざまずけ。
All evil and obsession are to kneel in front of me, the king.
この身は使命のためにあり、使命は世界のためにある。
I exist for my mission, and my mission is for the world.
どれだけの悪を名乗ろうと、この国で最も狂っている僕にはかなわない。
No matter the evil that exists, none can stand in front of me, the most crazed in this country. I was summoned by the royal family shortly after I was appointed to be deputy director. The sweet, musky smell filled the area as I stepped into the wide hall. I looked up at the throne that I should set upon. I played a subservient dog and knelt at the throne.
よくぞ参った。
Finally arrived, I
お
see.
前がシアンブロフィワーズが才覚を認め、副所長という座さえ設けさせた研究者か。
So you're the scientist Shin Brophy saw as befitting for this deputy director position.
はい。名はダハトと。
Yes, my name is Daha.
ずいぶんと若い見た目のリライバーなのね。
I see you have a very young appearance for being a reliver.
弱い15でリライバーとなりましたので。
I became a reliver at the age of 15.
ほう。その若さで才能を開花させるとは。なるほど。あの男が認めるわけだ。
You're quite talented despite your youth. I see why the man sees you as
お
valuable.
父様、あの男が認めるほどの頭脳があれば、あるいは。
Father, if he is smart enough for that man to see value in him,
う
then.
ん。
The hideous father and daughter mumbled to each other. I could deduce that they were planning to use me as their puppet to fight Sheen.
舐められている。だが好都合だ。
They're taking me for a fool, but that works for me. It also helped that they were so stupid that I didn't even think to get angry.
ここは自分から切り出してみるか。
Perhaps I should make my move. They hadn't given me the order, but I raised my head and gave a sinister smile not worth showing to a king.
よほどシアンブロフィワーズの存在が
I take it
邪
the
魔なのだとお見
existence
受けしま
of
す。
Sheen Brophy is a disturbance.
現在のレーブポワール家ではあの神の足元にも及びませんからね。
After all, the current Revapor family lacked the power to face that god. Noticing that I was leading to, the princess held her breath in suspense.
無礼な。あの男が認めているからと調子に乗るなよ。
How dare you? Don't think so highly of yourself simply because that man approves of
貴
you.
様のようなチリヤクタなどいつでも首を跳ね飛ばして。
I can easily have a measly commoner like you beheaded.
おや
and-
首を跳ねるだけでいいのですか？
Is my head all you want?
弱者をいたぶる拷問もお好きでしょ？あなた方は弱者をいたぶる拷問もお好きでしょ？あなた方は
His voice. He's so good at that. I find that odd as I thought you folks derived joy from torturing the weak.
何？
What? I stood up and gracefully bowed in respect. I then looked at them with my new artificial eyes.
お久しぶりです。おじ上、
It's been a while, great uncle.
僕が処刑され損ねてからどれだけの年月が流れたことでしょうか。
How many years has it been since you had me executed?
貴様まさか
It can't
リアム。
be. Liam? The two overreacted upon hearing me use the word uncle. The soldiers quickly surrounded me and pointed their
こう
weapons.
いう時だけ優秀なんだから。
This is about the only time these fools actually do their job. I suppressed my emotions and maintained my front.
今すぐ処刑せよ。この男は 処刑前に脱走した大罪人だ。
Execute him now. He's a criminal who escaped execution.
そうさっき立たず。僕は叔父上たちの願いを叶えるべく、この城へと戻ったのです。
No need for hostility. I actually returned to the castle to fulfill everyone's wish, uncle.
神を気取り、この国を支配するシアンブロフィワーズを排除し、
The wish to get rid of Shin Brophy, who was ruling this country like some god,
かつ
and
呪いを乗り越え永遠を生きることのできる不老不死を実現できると言ったら、
if I told you that you could achieve immortality, overcome the curse, and live
あ
forever,
なた方はどうされますか？
what would you do?
なんだと。
What? Greed, no different from before. Benoit showed signs of interest and waved his hand to keep the soldiers at
常
bay.
々思っていたのです。この国を率いるべきは尊き血を引くレーブ・ポワール家だというのに、
I always thought it was the noble Rev Poor bloodline that should lead this
傲慢
country.
なる神を名乗る男にその立場を乗っ取られているのは納得がいかない。
I can't accept that the right to rule has been stolen by an arrogant man who calls himself a god. I stopped for a moment and looked at them.
続けなさい。
Continue.
感謝を。
As you wish. I bowed once again before
人間のままで
continuing.
は神を超えられないというのなら、
As humans, it's difficult to surpass God.
神すらも超える人ならざるものになればいい。
If so, you should become an existence greater than a god.
僕の提案する研究を秘密裏に手伝っていただければ、
All I ask is that you assist me with my research in
アル
secret.
ペシエルの実験、この世界で一番完璧な生命となった皆様にお返ししましょう。
In return, I will return the favor by providing power over Arpachel as perfect life forms in this world. The two regained their composure at the statement and rested back onto their
そ
throne.
の言葉、偽りはないのだな。
And you're telling us the truth.
私たちへの復讐のために嘘をついているわけではないでしょうね。
You're not lying to us to have your revenge, are you?
まさか復讐心などリダイバーになると同時、元の肉体と共に捨て去りました。
Of course not. Any ill will I felt was lost with my flesh when I became a reliver. I had a more important goal to fulfill than getting revenge, so I wasn't lying to
僕が
them.
望むのは王家への復帰のみ。玉座は叔父上たちに捧げたままにいたしましょう。
All I want is to be restored to the royal family. I offer myself to the will of the throne.
もしも僕を認め協力していただければ、
Should you accept me and provide the support I
偽
need,
りなき不老不死実現させてみせましょう。
I'll give you everlasting youth and life. Of course, I had no desire to make something like that happen, nor did I have the means to do so. However, my expression was so full of conviction that they couldn't doubt me.
いいだろう。具体的な話を聞こうではないか。
Very well, let's hear the details.
自分から提案した以上、私たちの期待を裏切らないでちょうだいね。
Since you proposed this yourself, be sure to keep your word.
かかった。
Fools. Oh, his evil face. I missed it. The fake king and princess has hideous smiles that were hard to describe.
さて、あとは
Now
死
then,
と命に執着する頼りになる協力者たちを見つけるだけだ。
I need to find reliable cohorts who are obsessed with life and
これ
death.
から僕は歪んだ研究者に手を貸すもの、
I'll provide these twisted researchers with what they need.
支援者と名乗り暗躍しよう。
I will work behind the scenes as a supporter. I already had one person in mind.
こんにちは、オーティさん。
Hello there, Orti.
まあ、ダハタ副所長。
Deputy Director Dahat.
嫌だな。気軽にダハトって呼んでくださいよ。
Come now, feel free to call me Dahat. Just Dahat's
ついこの
fine.
間までは同僚として一緒に研究をしていた仲じゃありませんか。
We were working together as colleagues only a short while ago as researchers, you
ま
know.
あ、そういうわけには。
Not a chance. The man looked away from me in an uneasy fashion.
おお、わかりやすく妬んでる。
I can tell he doesn't like me at all. He must not have liked the fact that a young reliver became the deputy director ahead of him. But his jealousy was useful to me.
相変わらずシアンさんには独自の研究を否定されてるんですって？
I heard that Sheen's still looking down on your research endeavors.
まあ
I suppose. I continued to speak in a cute way as I recalled Orti's research data.
新人類の作成でしたか。
It was about creating a new breed of humans, right?
僕ももろ手を挙げて賛成はできませんけど、あそこまで即却下しなくてもいいですよね。
I can't honestly say I ever approve, but I also don't think your work should be denounced
応
so
用すれ
easily.
ば病気の治療とかにも利用できるかもしれないんですし。
In fact, if it's used right, it can be used to potentially cure a variety of diseases.
メモリー開発を進める僕たち第一班への対応といい。
That
ほんと
inhumane
あの人、人間性がないっていうか。
director of us keeps bad-mouthing Team 1's memory research too.
まったくだ。あいつは遺伝子が持つ美しさを何一つ理解していな
That
い。
I agree. He doesn't see the true beauty of genes at all.
今なんか言いましたです？
Did you just say something? I asked as if I didn't hear his mumble.
いいえ、なんでも。それでは、私はこれで失礼するよ。
I need to get going, so if you'll excuse me. Wiggle. I waved my hand at Orty. As he headed off with a stack of papers in his arms, my honest opinion was...
気持ち悪い。
He's so creepy! At this rate, I don't really need to take action for him to make some kind of move. It was best that I not reel him in to my side around Sheen. I could go and approach him after he got kicked out of the institute.
彼の新人類の作成という研究は、母様の新しい肉体を作るのにも役に立ちそうですからね。
His research is in creating a new breed of human, so that could help in creating a new body for my mother. I would use him to my liking so I could let him do what he wanted for now. Years later, but a few months later, I never expected that Lout would abduct children from the slums for his experiments. I quickly moved to get him kicked out of the institute, then let him escape to the cult in Courrune under the guise of being executed. Although he was suspicious at first, he felt comfortable in the environment where he could do research to his heart's content. Soon enough, Orty showed obedience to me as his supporter, though I did think he would betray me at the first opportunity. As long as you know. As long as you know your enemy,
さ
right?
て、あとは母様を蘇らせるための記憶データの作成研究だけど。
Now then, I need to do some research. To have some research done to create the memory needed to bring my mother back to life, but I already had a candidate.
なあ、頼むよ。俺にできることなら何でもするから。
Come on, I'll do anything you ask.
無茶を言わないでください。バックアップを取ってない人間をリライバー化できるわけがないでしょう。
Like I said, no, there's no way we can have someone who wasn't backed up become a reliver.
そこをなんとか頼む。俺は彼女、ロザリーをどうしても蘇らせたいんだ。
You have to. I need my beloved. I need to have Rosalie back. A young man was pleading to one of our staff, Camille Cloud, the only son of Emile Cloud, who has served my mother. Okay. From what I knew, it seemed his beloved was murdered a short while ago, but without a backup, her departure was equivalent to an external separation. He continued coming to the institute every day using his family's
ど
standing.
うしてバックアップを取っておかなかったんです。名門クロード家のご子息ならお金がないわけじゃないでしょう。
Why didn't you have a backup? You're the son of prestigious Clyde family, so you should have had the money to do so.
それは彼女への思いと彼女からの思いをなくしたくなかったから。
I didn't want to lose my feelings towards her or have her lose her feelings for me. What beautiful love. People like him were supposed to be the ones who were saved. If I knew him better, I would have consoled him and showed him the right way to say farewell to his beloved, but...
その美しい恋愛感情こそ僕の求める執念。
His beautiful view towards love was exactly what I was looking for. I would warp that pure and beautiful love with my own hands. I would contact him by letter and have Orti work with him directly under his new name and appearance. Just as I thought, Camille Clyde might not be a researcher, but his intelligence and his affection for his beloved led him to creating an underground research facility to cultivate false memories. Seems my pawns are set. The rest was for me to search for my mother's genes as I waited for their research results. To be honest, there was a good amount of luck involved, but from here on out was me against this warped country.
あらゆる悪意と執着は僕という名の王にひざまずけ
All evil and obsession are to kneel in front of me the king.
この身は使命のためにあり使命は世界のためにある
I exist for my mission and my mission is for the world.
どれだけの悪を名乗ろうとこの国で最も狂っている僕にはかなわない
No matter the evil that exists, none can stand in front of me, the most crazed in this country. I was going to commit something heinous, so it was no surprise I would be led to Hades the moment I died, but it didn't matter.
待っててください母様
Please wait for me, mother.
僕がいつか必ずあなたを普通の人間として蘇らせてあげますから
I will find a way to bring you back to life as a normal person. I will make that a reality. I would walk a path paved with carcasses. I would use myself as a pawn to make my wishes a reality. Oh, the hot. We got an image. This one has an image in it. That probably means it's longer. We're gonna find out. And the Scion test. Arpachel had a hint of rain in the air. Yves is late. The fish in the bowl splashed some water as if in agreement. Silence filled the air in Courrune. The owner, Yves, and his partner, Hugo, were nowhere around. Hugo went to one of the farms a bit a ways to handle work order. Yves went to one of the other districts to handle yet another work order. They had been quite busy recently, leaving this place quite empty. Yves asked me to help, so I just finished doing some tidying up and putting things away. I heard Yves' work orders today is going to have him work outdoors, but the sky was really clear earlier. It sure is starting to look dark. Suddenly, and without warning, just as the thought crossed my mind, large droplets began falling from the sky. The rainfall quickly wet the gardens full of blooming Lycoris norigi. Look at the rain. I hope Yves is okay. Gotta keep marking these as I go. At this rate, I felt like this would last through the night.
邪魔するぞ
Coming in. I jumped from hearing the door suddenly slam open. Stuttering and strutting inside without any hesitation isn't Yves the owner of Courrune, but... Sheen, what brings you here today?
どうしたも何も
That's an
客として来た
odd
だけだ
question to ask a customer.
明日急遽王族どもとの会議が入った警備兵どもに空きがない関係でクルーンを護衛として雇いたい
There's a sudden meeting tomorrow with the royal family, and I came here to hire Courrune as guards since I'm short on manpower. I see. Unfortunately, Yves is currently out taking care of a separate work order. I don't believe he'll be coming back soon, though.
そう
Oh,
か
I do.
なら中で待つ
I see very well. I'll wait here. I looked at him with wide eyes as he strolled inside. He must have been rained on as he arrived, dripping from the head to toe. Sheen, you're gonna catch a cold like that. I hurriedly grabbed a fresh towel and handed it to Sheen.
天気を予想する技術も必要だな。
Seems I need to create something to predict the weather. Yeah, they have those. They're called pedometers. Weather it sounds right. Weather machine to predict weather is called meteorological radar. That's exactly what I said. Meteorologist. Meteorological radar. Satellite. Dropple radar. Radio. He could create all these things. He's a strong man. I believe in him. Sheen quietly took the towel and first wiped his wet face. As I pondered what to do about his drenched clothes.
ただいま。
Tadaima, I'm home, Liam.
いやー、参っちゃったよ。帰り道でいきなり雨に降られちゃって。
Wow, that was something. It poured crazy just as I was on my way back. No different from she and Eves came home soaking wet. Welcome back, Eves. Looks like you got caught in the rain.
あとちょっと早ければ間に合ったんだけどね。
Yeah, then again, I could have avoided it if I'd left earlier. Eves chuckled at his bad luck without much worry. Then,
ってあれ、シアンさん。こんな時間にここに来るなんて珍しいですね。何か依頼ですか？
it's she. Never expected to see you at this hour. Is there something you need?
ああ、戻ったのならこのまま依頼内容と報酬を詰めるぞ。
Now that you're here, let's talk about work and payment, shall
わかり
we?
ました。じゃあそこに座ってください。
Understood. Please have a seat. Eve sat down after seeing Sheen take his seat. Both were completely soaked. Just the sound of water. Just a moment, you're both gonna catch a cold like that. Take off all your clothes. I hurriedly spoke as they were about to get right to business. I got worried. I saw the redemption, but I didn't hear it. Hi, Anne. They were sincerely not worried or even thinking about their state. Let me get some hot water and a change of clothes for you. I had no intention of letting them go cold, even if I had to talk back to Sheen. After leading them to another room, I quickly grabbed some towels and 2 sets of clothes for them. In the meanwhile, I got some water boiling for them to use. I'm so glad that Sheen left a set of his own clothes here the last time he stayed over. How convenient. With that set of fresh towels, I knocked on the door to the room. Eves, Sheen, I brought you some towels and hot water. Can I come in?
構わん。
Go ahead. He's gonna be shirtless. With his approval, I opened the door to see...
シアンさん、俺まだ着替えてる途中で。
Sheen, we haven't finished changing yet. It seemed like Eves was not in a state for him to be in public view. What time is this? Wait, why is Sheen so bruised? Why is his shoe so wet? Jesus. I was seeing bare skin. The residual rain was slowly dripping off his body, making its way along his muscles. I fixed my gaze downward. The sound of dripping water distracted me and I accidentally looked up without thinking. I'm so sorry! After my apology came out as a question, for some reason I hurriedly tried to
ど
leave.
こへ行く？湯とタオルを持ってきたんだろう。さっさとよこせ。
Why does he have so... This is not... Sheen's route, is it? Wait, Sheen... I'm trying to picture what happened in Sheen's route. Was she ever taken in by Courrune in Sheen's route? Or is this Eve's route? Because he shouldn't look like that. Should he? Does he always look like he's just been beaten the fuck out of? Where are you going? Hurry up and hand over the hot water and towels. She just throws the hot water and towels at him. Shane's low tone voice stopped me in place. It seems he didn't care whether his skin was exposed or not. Looks like my shoes are wet too. He frowned as he turned his shoe upside down and drained the water.
見苦しい状態でごめんね。
Sorry about the view, Leah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, could be a little better.
全身ずぶ濡れだったから、どうしても着替えに時間がかかっちゃって。
It just took us a little while to get changed because our clothes were so wet. You don't need to apologize about the view. The views are great. Talk to Eve, talk to Sheen. Wait. Felt like I saw something that I probably shouldn't seen, but I'm the one to apologize. I should have waited for your approval to enter.
俺たちの方が年頃の女性に配慮が足りなかったよ。
No, we weren't considerate enough about you being a young lady.
でも完全に油断してたな。君にこんなだらしない格好は見せたくなかったんだけど。
I was completely caught off guard. I didn't want you to see me looking this sloppy. Gotta appreciate the water droplets on his shoulder. I don't think you're sloppy at all. I was just surprised.
驚いた?
Surprised? Well, you're supposed to be the same age, Eve, but I was thinking about how well you've trained your body with the corpse. You know, hot. What did I just say? I was making myself sound like I was oogling his body. I'm sorry, disregard what I just said. This shouldn't have come out of my mouth.
そんなことない。君に頼もしいって言ってもらえて、俺は嬉しい。
This expression isn't matching the words for me, and I'm not feeling like I'm immersed enough. No need to apologize. I'm actually kind of happy you see me as someone manly and reliable.
誇るにはもう少し鍛えないといけないけどね。それこそアドルフたちみたいに。
But I still have a lot of work ahead of me in becoming someone as reliable as Adolf and the others. He smiled happily as his long, wet hair swayed and dripped water on the floor. Nice. I don't know. Well, you have the hot water and towel, so I better be going.
待て。ついでだ。このまま身支度を手伝え。
Hold on there, help me get dry. Huh?
髪が濡れて鬱陶しい。適当なところまで乾かしておけ。
I want you to dry this irritating wet hair of mine. Oh gosh. With that, Sheen shoved the towel I brought for him into my hands. You're talking to me?
他に誰がいる？さっさとしろ。風邪をひくと言ったのはお前だろ。
Who else am I talking to? Now hurry up, you're the one who said we'd catch a cold. Okay. I slowly and carefully touched Sheen's wet hair. I recalled hearing of Dahat usually taking care of him, and now that I got to see his hair up close, so beautiful. The water in his hair was only amplifying its unique beauty. What a weird thing. With the two warmed and dried, they began talking about the bodyguard duties. Night quickly came upon us as to the time we were done talking. The rain outside was still hitting the windows no differently.
全然止まないな。
Sure is raining.
よかったらこのまま泊まっていかない？
Lee, how about you stay over tonight? Huh? But with how hard it was raining outside, beyond getting wet, I might also get hurt if I forced myself through the rain. This was quite the predicament, but I couldn't worry Mother by getting hurt or catching a cold. Thank you very much, if you don't mind that.
シアンさんも急ぎでなければ。
Sheen, if you're not busy, how about...
ベッドは俺が使うぞ。
I get the bed.
いいですよ。その代わり、予備の布団は彼女に譲ってくださいね。
Not a problem, but please have her use the spare blankets, okay? Eves gave an innocent smile as he went about putting away the wet towels. Eves, you look like you're having fun.
この3人で泊まることなんてめったにないからね。
It's not often the three of us spend the night together, you know?
シアンさん、寝るときに3人で恋の話をしましょうよ。気になってる女性はいないんですか？
How about we chat before we sleep? Is there a woman you're interested in?
付き合ってもいいが、俺は5秒で寝る。
I'm fine chatting, but once I touch the bed, I'm sleeping in 5 seconds. Strange enough, I was finding the situation fun too. The rain was still relentlessly pouring down, but it gave me the opportunity to talk to these two, and for that, I wanted to express my sincere gratitude. To the rain? Interesting. A special lesson. Ooh, what could possibly go wrong here? Everything. Such a warm day. The slightest yawn could lull a person into sleep, but
さて、復習の時間です。
now then, let's review what we learned.
先日の授業の内容を覚えている子はいますか？
Does anybody remember what the lesson was about yesterday?
Hi!
Yes! Not a single student in Lucas's class showed any signs of sleepiness. On the contrary, their eyes were gleaming with hunger to know more.
あのね、先生。僕、この間わからなかった計算、一人で解けるようになったんだよ。
Excellent progression. Monsieur, now I know how to do that math problem I didn't know before.
おや、それは偉いですね。先生が100点満点の絵を描いてあげましょう。
Let me draw you my special mark for a perfect score. Yay! I got one!
わ、ずるい。私も先生に絵描いてほしい。
That's not fair. I want to get a mark too.
はいはい、わかりました。
Yes, of course, I understand.
それでは、今日の授業を寝ずに頑張れたら、皆にも描いてあげましょう。
Let's see. I'll draw a special mark for everyone who can stay awake in class today.
そんなの簡単だよ。先生の授業楽しいもん。
That's easy. Your classes are really fun.
おや、嬉しいことを言ってくれますね。
I'm so happy to hear
それ
that.
では、教科書を開いてください。皆で張り切って問題を解いていきましょう。
If you'll all please open your books, let's do our very best to answer the questions. I listened to Lucas's class as I folded the laundry. The children always had such fun during his lessons that watching them made me feel so warm inside as I savored that happiness.
あなたに素敵なお客様よ。
Yeah, there's a lovely guest here to see you.
こんにちは。
Hello there. True to her words, Mother did bring over a lovely guest. In his hand was a basket with something inside. Hello there, Mathis. I stopped folding the clothes and quietly greeted my guest in a way that wouldn't disturb the ongoing session. It's so rare to see you come here. Is there something you need?
はい。
Yes.
実はちゃんとシュディのマルシェに行った時にお菓子を買いすぎてしまって。
You see, I went to the Marshall and Cheddis with Jean to buy something sweet.
そのお裾分けをしによければ子供たちと一緒に食べてください。
I ended up buying too many, so I came by to give this to you so that you can share them with the kids. With that, Mathis took a beautiful paper bag from the basket and handed it to me. Thank you very much. I'm sure everyone will be happy. Do you mind if we share these with Lucas since he's here for class?
もちろんです。すごく美味しいので先生も気に入ってくれると思います。
Of course, they taste great, so I'm sure Lucas will enjoy them too. Mathis then glanced at the teacher at work.
先生が子供たちに授業をしている姿、僕初めて見ました。
I believe it's the first time I've seen him teaching the children.
あら、そうなの？
Is that so? He's right. Mathis usually sees him in our town or when he visits Courrune.
それならこの機会にじっくり見学させてもらうのはどうかしら。
Might I suggest you join and watch the class in
マティス
session?
君も将来は翻訳の知識を他の人に教えることがあるかもしれないし。
Ooh. Perhaps in the future you might find an opportunity to teach your knowledge about translation.
先生の授業を覚えておいて損はないと思うわよ。
Watching a teacher conducting a class may help.
はい、ぜひ。
Yes, of course. Then let me get some tea and we can sit and watch. Mother had other matters to attend to, so we sat down quietly and sipped on our tea while watching the class in session. Each time the children gleefully raised their hands. Mathis smiled happily too. Nix, hi! Class came to an end at noon. Lucas went around drawing special marks in the children's notebooks upon dismissal. The children each showed off the special drawing they received before dashing off to play in the garden. Thank you very much for class. I'm sure the children had fun again in class as usual.
お菓子を持ってきたので、よければ一緒に食べませんか？
I brought some sweets, so won't you join us?
おや、よろしいのですか？
Oh my, may
そ
I
れ
if
で
you
は
don't mind?
お言葉に甘えて。
Does he have a sweet tooth? I think he does. He seemed to have noticed Mathis was here after all. Not surprised by his appearance, he decided to join our tiny tea party without hesitation. We headed back inside the orphanage and I poured some tea and served the sweets that Mathis had brought. The taste lived up to the high praise. It was delicious and almost addictive.
僕、先生の授業、
I
見
was
学させ
watching
て
you
もらい
teach
まし
the
た。
children.
見ていてすごく楽しかったです。子供たちも先生と先生の授業が大好きなんだなって
It was
伝わっ
very
てきました。
enjoyable. I could tell the children really love you and your class.
ありがとうございます。とはいえ私も教師としてはまだまだ未熟な身。
Thank you very much. I have a long way to go as an educator.
子供たちの成長に抜かれないよう日々必死に勉強しているんですよ。
In fact, I study every day myself so that I can keep ahead of the children's growth. So you have to study hard just like the students? I could already see him at home studying and thinking about what to teach the children.
なんだか子供たちが羨ましいな。
I have to admit, I'm a little jealous of the kids.
僕、通信教育でしか学んでこなかったので。
I only learned through correspondent courses. I regret that I didn't participate more actively when you taught me before. I couldn't help but think back to the
お
time.
や、そういうことなら今からでも遅くあ
Oh
りません。
my, it's certainly not the last for you two.
私が君たちのためだけにとっておきの授業を行いましょう。
Let me hold a special session for the two of you. Mathis and I looked at each other and tilted our heads upon hearing his proposal. Oh, did I not realize this one had a picture?
それではこれから特別授業を開始します。
Now then, let's begin our special lesson, shall we?
二人とも準備はできていますか？
Are you two ready? Yes.
バッチリです。
All ready. Responded no differently from students answering their teacher.
大変良いお返事です。その調子で私が作った問題を解いていきましょう。
Very good. Now then, let's go ahead and solve some problems.
まずは簡単な計算問題から。さすがに子供たちとは一緒にはできませんからね。
First, we'll start with some simple math problems. Keep in mind, they aren't as easy as what I have the children work on.
二人の実力に合わせ少々難しめに作っています。
I made them slightly harder to match your level of
わ
knowledge.
からなければ話し合っても構いませんから挑戦してみてください。
If you're not sure, we can discuss it further, but please try your best.
はい、先生。
Yes, monsieur. We'll do our best. I got right to the problems at hand as if I were his student again. He's right, these are pretty challenging, but if I could solve them, I should be able to apply what I learned to my bookkeeping skills here, so I would do my best. I stared at the problems As my mind began calculating, following the examples, I need to extract the value from this equation, but I wonder how I'm supposed to solve this. Monsieur, may I ask for your help?
何をどう尋ねたいのかしっかり考えた上での質問なら大丈夫ですよ。
So long as you put thought into the question and are looking for tips instead of answers. Thank you very much. If that's the case, it's about this equation. I did this and then this. Is it correct that I'm supposed to put this value here?
お見事。そこまで来たらあともう少しですよ。
Well done. I'm sure you can do the rest from here. Mathis and I pondered for a few minutes over our questions, sometimes getting hints from our teacher.
これでどうでしょうか。
Is this correct? Mathis handed him completed assignment to Lucas. He looked on expectantly as the teacher checked his calculations.
正解です。よくこの短い時間で解けましたね。
You did well answering them in such a short
先生
time.
も教師見習いの時はよくつまずいていたというのに、マティス君は実に優秀です。
I remember stumbling over this for some time when I was still learning. You are very clever, Mathis. That's amazing, Mathis. I'm still stuck on that problem. Mathis was able to solve all his problems and successfully got a perfect score from the
見てく
teacher.
ださい。綺麗なお花を描いてもらっちゃいました。
Look, Leah, he drew me a pretty flower mark. I'm so envious. I need to do my best too. I was pretty confident about my ability in math, so... Look at me and my math skills, I assume. How are you today? Not bad. I'm still a little sleepy, but I'm getting better. So I have that. How about you? How are you doing? Mathis, did you solve your problems
途
already?
中までは。ただ、このまま普通に答えを出すのは
Now
違
we
うよ
get
うな
ads.
気がして。
Well, and it's what I'm talking to Mathis, the poor child who didn't get enough attention. Partially, but something about my answer doesn't feel right, right? This one here seems like it's a trick question. Mathis and I pondered for a few minutes over our questions, sometimes getting hints from our teacher.
これで
Oh.
どうでしょうか。
In the end, I was able to answer all of my questions. That was very short for the difference between the two questions. Fortunately, I managed to earn Lucas's special flower mark of approval. Get it as a tattoo.
今日はすっごく楽しかったです。僕たちのためにありがとうございます。リュカ先生。
Today was really fun. Thank you very much for teaching us, Monsieur Proust.
いえいえ、こちらこそ楽しかったですよ。
The pleasure is mine. I enjoy our time together
一
too.
度授業を受けた以上、君も私の教え子なのですから、
Now that you've attended my class, you're my student.
勉強を教えてほしくなったらいつでも呼んでください。
So if you want to learn more, feel free to let me know.
もちろん君も。
That applies to you too, Leah. Thank you very much. The time we spent was short, but I'm very happy I had a chance to learn from you again, Monsieur Proust. Can I ask you to please continue to be our teacher?
もちろん。何年経とうと、君たちは私の可愛い教え子ですよ。
Of course, no matter how many years pass, you will always be my precious student. He said adorable. He said a kawaii. A flower blooming in the garden swayed, seeing his smile. It was if the flowers wanted to be on the paper again for another perfect score. Hee. Mathis and I looked at each other and smiled as our teacher's students. Such pretty boys. I know, right? It's disgusting how cute these guys are. Who will go? Who will go where? And we're on page 2 now. Look at us. Other.
おや
Okay, I'm fine. Hi! Anku looked up from his book upon hearing the sound of water. Outside the window was a gray sky with droplets sprinkling down in succession.
先ほどまで晴れていたというのに、とんだ気まぐれな空だな。
Quite a fickle sky, considering it was fair earlier. Not that I care much as I was inside, but...
買い物に出ている彼女が心配だ。確か傘は持って行っていなかったはず。
She still hasn't returned home from shopping. I don't recall her taking an umbrella. I should have gone with her to carry that groceries. No, I did ask her, but she left on her own, saying that she wanted to keep the special stew she was making for me tonight a
万
secret.
が一にも彼女が風邪でもひいたらたまらない。
I can't bear the thought that she could catch a cold.
ここは私が迎えに行くとしよ
I should go out and find her. This beautiful man. Decided on what to do, Anku walked towards the small standing cabinet in the corner of the room.
う。確かここにはあいつの傘がしまわれている。
I believe his umbrella is inside this cabinet. He was sure of it. When suddenly someone grabbed hold of his hand from another direction. With Leah outside, there was only one other person here. The two came to the same cabinet for the same reason of getting the
手を
umbrella.
離してもらえるかな。今から私が姫君を迎えに行くのでね。
May I ask that you let go? I am going to find my dear princess.
何を当然と言わんばかりな顔してやがる。この傘は俺のだ。
I like how you're saying that with a straight face. This umbrella is mine. The two didn't budge. They both had their hands on the cabinet handle for the right to go to get what was inside.
お前にあいつの迎えを任せるぐらいなら犬に任せた方がマシだ。
I would rather a dog go find her instead of you.
その言葉そっくりそのまま君に返そう。
I could say the same exact thing to you. They both tried to open the cabinet, but it tumbled over from their tugging. So wait, Adolphe is Anku. Yes, they're the same person, but Anku is like 1,000 years in the future. How do we spell it? You spelled it right, except there's an E at the end of Adolphe's name. So it's Adolphe. And Anku, spot on. From inside rolled out Adolphe's umbrella among his other belongings, but the thing is, in this part of the story, he doesn't know. They find it out at the very, very end that Anku is Adolphe in the future, and it's because when he's crying and sad, he looks a lot more like his old self. His face has changed because he had a lot of experiments done on him, and he lived for so long. So that's why he doesn't look the same. Even his eye color mysteriously changed because of the experiments that were done on him.
もらった。
I got it.
させるか。
No, you don't. Anku kicked the umbrella away just before Adolphe could reach it.
てめ、人のもの。
That's mine.
隙を見せた君が悪い。
It's your fault for not getting to it sooner. They also have different voice actors, but they intentionally sometimes sound very similar to each other. There's a few times where Adolphe will say something and I go, ooh, but usually not as much. Anku moved to grab the umbrella that he kicked away, just as it seemed as if he would be victorious. Adolphe stepped on Anku's trailing hem and tripped him before he could get to the umbrella.
君、傘一本にここまでするか。
Why you would do this for a mere umbrella? Did he break your outfit? Adolphe yelled at Anku as he rubbed his bruised nose.
お前にだけは言われたくねえよ。おとなしく家で留守番してろ。
Like you're one to talk. You just wait here for us to get back. And then she comes home. Conflict continued. Hearing the noise, one of the passerbyers who happened to be nearby
何を
mumbled.
遊んでるんだこの家の人たち。
They must be having some fun inside. An interesting thought. Very interesting. Ah, we're MC now. What to do? Eves will walk me home. That'd be funnier, honestly. Under a large tree in front of me was a curtain of rain. The sky was clear only moments ago, but the rain began to pour the moment I was done shopping. Luckily, I didn't get wet, but at this rate, it doesn't seem like it's going to clear up anytime soon. I could force my way through, but I'd risk the groceries getting wet from the rain. Just as I was pondering what to do, two shadows made their way through the rain towards me. It's all your fault that I'm drenched now.
おとなしく留守番をしていない君が悪い。姫君を探しに行くのは私一人で十分だと言ったはずだが。
It is your fault for not staying home. I do recall telling you that I would go out and find the princess myself.
迎えに行ったところで自警団の奴らに捕まるのが目に見えてるだろ。
You do know. Your shady ass would be thrown in jail the moment my guys saw you, right? The familiar clamor coming from beyond. I didn't have a single doubt who they were. Adolf! Anku!
ここにいたのか。
There you are, Leah.
雨に打たれてはいないかい？もし冷えているのなら私が温めてあげよう。
I do hope the rain did not get you. If you are cold, let me warm you myself. The two of them, each in their distinct attire, came dashing towards me. Don't tell me you both came to get me.
不本意だがな。最初は俺一人で迎えに来るつもりだったんだが。
Unfortunately, yes. I was planning to pick you up myself.
この若造が自分が行くとダダを言い出してね。
This youngster began throwing a tantrum about how he wanted to go alone.
いつまでも争っていては君が濡れてしまう可能性があったから仕方なく同行させてやったのだよ。
Waiting for his tantrum to finish would have put you in greater risk of getting wet, so I allowed him to come.
それはそのまま俺のセリフだ。
I could say the same to you. Hee. As usual, their bickering is so
ま
cute.
あ無事に見つかったことだし、また強くなる前にとっとと帰るぞ。
Well, we did find you anyway, so let's get going before the rain gets
姫君
stronger.
この傘を使いたまえ。
Please use this umbrella, dear princess. With that, Anku handed me an umbrella. Huh? But what about you? If you only have one, why don't you two use it to get...
死んでも断る。
Not a chance. Seriously? I figured they could use the umbrella together since they were about the same height.
こいつと傘を差すかはともかく、お前を迎えに来たってのにずぶ濡れにさせたら意味ないだろ。
It doesn't matter if I share the umbrella with him. It would defeat the purpose of finding you if you get soaked.
そうだよ姫君。我々のことは気にしなくていい。
Indeed, dear princess, there's no need to worry about us. But I sort of felt bad for the two of them now. Oh, I know. Why don't we do this then? I knew it was a bit too cramped, but someone carry me.
さすがに狭いな。
This is too close for comfort. The umbrella looks ridiculously small from this angle. This is too close for
本
comfort.
当に本当に君さえいなければ全てが問題なかったのだが。
Truly, things would not have ended up this way if you had stayed behind. Hee. The three of us were walking through the rain under one umbrella. We simply decided to stick much closer than usual to stay covered.
おい、押すなアンク。こっちは肩がはみ出てんだぞ。
Stop pushing, Anku. My shoulder's out in the open.
ならばそのまま傘の外に出て一人雨に打たれながら帰ればいいだろう。
Then you may as well leave and run back home in the rain.
不老不死のお前の方が適任だろう。風も何もひかねえんだからな。
You're the undead one here, so you do that. Not like a cold would kill you.
もっとこちらへおいで姫君。君の大切な体が冷えてはいけない。
Come closer, dear princess. Someone as precious as you must not be cold.
人の話を聞
Did
け。
you hear me? I couldn't hold back a giggle hearing the two of them get
姫
along.
君
Princess,
どうした？
what's the matter? Oh, I'm sorry. It just takes me back. I remember how we shared an umbrella like this back when you mother and I went into the rain.
そういや、そんなこともあったな。
Now that you bring it up, yeah, I remember that. Right? Which is why why us being like this feels like I'm with family. When it started pouring, I thought I was unlucky, but with as much fun as I'm having now, I think I'm really lucky. Happiness is well beyond what death could ask for. I savored the joy of being with the two of them as my mind forgot how cold it was. If it rains next time, let's share the same umbrella like this again. I don't mind getting wet if I'm with you too.
ああ、私もだよ。
Yes, I agree.
こいつと一緒ってのが気に食わねえが。お前が喜んでるなら。
It would be better without him, but as long as you're happy, it's fine by me. I enjoyed the time I spent with these two. We walked back home together as a family. Aw, let's just make sure it all says unread. It's good. Good. All right, perfect. We've done we're on page 3 now. The third handyman. Does that sound like it's about a cute little fish, maybe? I do think it's cute, at least, that they are like little stories in, like you could easily nestle them into the original. It was another quiet night. The dark room slowly grew brighter from the bright light shining through the window. Hiccup, sorry. The bird that swam through the air. Notice what it said. The birds that swam through the air seemed to be singing their songs outside the window. In other words, it was morning. I wasn't looking for a second. I thought it was Nadia yawning, and I was like, Nadia, what's she doing here?
おはよう、福。今朝ごはんあげるからね。
Morning, Puffy. I'll get you some breakfast. It was time for my master to provide me my food. It's the one! Is this the one? I am a pufferfish. My name is Puffy. A pitiful fish who was washed ashore and given the name Puffy by the master who found me. Puffy, a pufferfish that Eve's found on the shoreline of Arpichel, currently a pet in Eve's household. It was separated from its partner after they were washed ashore. Oh, that's so funny.
今朝はどの餌がいいかな。昨日は海で採れた生き物をあげたし、別のものにしても。
I wonder what I should give you for breakfast. Yesterday I caught you a little creature from the ocean, so today... He's so cute! My master's name appears to be Eves. He seems to be a human male. An odd man who hides half of his face under a strange black rock, but it's not the place for a fish like me to judge the appearance of humans.
はい、お待たせ。いっぱいお食べ。
Alright, here you go. Eat up. All I concern myself with these days is enjoying the food dropped into my bowl. There is no other creature in here to threaten me. I simply wait a while, and food rains down on me. This would be such a blissful
おいしい、
life.
福。
Is it good, Puffy?
その調子でたくさん食べて、まるまると大きくなるんだよ。
Make sure to keep eating like that so you can be nice and big, okay?
その方がきっと美味しくなるだろうからね。
I'm sure you'll be much tastier that way. Were it not for my master's hungry gaze. However, seeing as how I am captured, I cannot escape. Then should I simply not eat? Preposterous. As a fish from the great sea, to not eat is to deny the very instincts that have kept me alive. Also, I do wonder if my compatriot who washed ashore with me is all right. Didn't we already eat him? It's been some time since I was caught by my master. Save for the danger of being eaten someday, I have been living quite a comfortable life.
よし、身支度完了。今日も一日頑張ろうね、福。
Alright, ready to go. Let's do our best today, Puffy. Indeed, I shall earnestly do my part and consume the food you have given me. I heard the sound of creaking wood. I have come to understand that this sound is made when another human has come to visit my master. Good morning, Eves. Ah, this human. Good morning, Puffy. I see you're looking nice and healthy today as well. Not only has this one bestowed upon me the name Puffy, she is my savior, defending me day after day from my master's appetite.
福はすっかり君に懐いたね。来ると毎回嬉しそうに飛び跳ねてる。
Puffy really seems to like you, Leah. It's so happy that it jumps around every time you visit. Such a derp face. Yeah, just like, I love him. I hope that's the case. Puffy is part of the Courrune now. She quietly rested her fingers against the bowl, and I expanded my body in response. The reason I am alive now is because of her sincere efforts to convince my master not to meet me every time he tries, and the food she drops into my bowl is positively delectable.
なんだろう。福がやけにこっちを見つめてくるような。
Is it me or is Puffy looking at me really hard? Master, have you no interest of building a beautiful nest for her? Perhaps if you convince her to stay, I might be given more delicious food and a chance to survive. Nothing but pleasant lives for us all.
あ、もしかして焼いてるのかな。君にもっと構ってほしいんじゃない？
Maybe he's jealous. I think he wants you to give him more attention. Really? Now, no, well, I suppose I am happy to see her, but that was not what I meant. Seems this will not pass. All I want is to live a long life and eat delicious food.
よーっす。今日も依頼が山のように入ってるぜ。頑張ってこなそうや。
We've got a ton of requests for today. Let's get to it. After a while, a large human came in. Puffy wants to play Cupid. Imagine a sub-story where Puffy is a matchmaker. This man was another companion of my master. I suppose that meant he was like my own compatriot. I like this human as well, and that is because...
よー、福。今日も丸いな。
Yo, Puffy. Looking around today?
昨日実家に顔出したから、家で育ててる魚用の餌もらってきたぜ。
I went to my folks' place the other day and got some fish food they use on their tanks. He does not hesitate in giving me the finest gourmet cuisine.
あ、ダメだよ、ヒューゴ。さっき朝食をあげたばかりなのに。
Don't beat him, Hugo. I just gave him breakfast.
そうなのか？悪い悪い。こいつが腹減ってるような顔してるもんだから。
Really? Sorry. He just looks so hungry. Munch, chomp, chomp.
なんつうか食欲すごいな。こいつ。
Man, this guy's really got an appetite.
食欲はあるのになかなか大きくならないんだよね。
He does, but he's not getting any bigger.
これ以上育たないのならもうさばいちゃった方がいいのかな。
Oh no. If he's not gonna grow anymore, maybe I should just chop him up already. How about waiting just a bit longer? Some of the people who come ask for help are fond of Puffy too.
そうだね。急にいなくなったらみんな悲しむか。
I guess they would be sad if he was suddenly gone.
わかった。食べる時が来たらしっかりみんなに連絡した上で食べるよ。
When it's time to finally eat him, I'll call everyone over so we can eat him together.
こいつも波乱万丈な人生、いや、余生を送ってるよな。
Looks like life's not easy for any of us, not even a fish. I must agree, I cannot eat my meals in peace because my master looks upon me as so hungrily. Speaking of eating,
イブさんがお料理したら 美味しいんだろうな。
If you're the one cooking, I'm sure it'll be delicious. That pale man my master calls over on occasion also sees me as prey, and I wish I did not have to contend with both of them. It makes me think of that game where you're a fish and you're trying to get to the ocean. My master has many visitors, however. Many visitor. They seem to visit this place in order to give work orders to him. My master seems to find joy in listening to them. But to be honest, I find it to my dislike. I find no issue when he is with someone he is close to, however.
はい、探し物の依頼ですね。確かにお引き受けします。
A search for something missing. I'll take the
俺は
case.
一度外で作業してる二人にも内容を伝えてきますね。
Let me go out and tell the other two about this, alright?
あ、わかった。
Right, yeah.
あれが噂の7年前の火災の被害者か。
So that's the victim from the fire 7 years ago. It's just like everything gets
あの
darker.
仮面の下には死神が残した醜い火傷の跡があるって噂だよな。
They say under that mask are horrible scars that death left on him.
うっかり触って呪われちまったらどうしような。なんて。
What would happen if we accidentally touched them and got cursed? Jeez.
うわ、冷て。なんだなんだ。
That's cold. What the?
水槽の魚が水をぶっかけてきたぞ。
Fish in the bowl just sprayed water at us. Ouch! Out, you cretins! Only cowardly weaklings would speak about my master behind his back after availing themselves of his generosity. I love that this fish has such great fucking words.
ん？何？
What's
何の
going
騒
on?
ぎ？
I heard something about a fish.
服に何かあったのかって。え？
Did something happen to Puffy? Hey,
あ
whoa!
ちこち水浸しじゃねえか。こら服、何してんだお前。
There's water everywhere. Puffy, what are you doing? I'm so sorry. I can wash any clothes that got wet.
いいよ。乾かせば済む話だから。
No, it's fine. They just need to dry. Don't touch me, witch.
俺たちは帰るから依頼だけよろしく頼むよ。期待してるから。
You'll be going back home, so take care of the quest for us. We're counting on you.
行っちゃった。ずいぶん慌ただしい依頼人だったな。
They're gone. They sure were in a rush, huh?
ああ、また派手にやりやがって。こりゃ掃除するのに苦労しそうだな。
Man, he really went at it. It'll take some work to mop this up.
3人でパパッと片付けちゃおう。そうすれば早く終わるしね。
Let's all work together. It'll be done in no time. Right, but I wonder why Puffy splashed all this water at our guest. I've never seen him do anything like this
そう
before.
いや、そうだな。こいつ、イブに食われそうな時以外はめったに動かねえのに。
You're right. He barely moves other than when Eve tries to eat him. Did someone try to eat you? My master gazed at me speechless. I shall give no excuses. Whatever the reason, I attacked my master's guest. I shall accept my reprimand as he deems fit.
と何か大事な理由があったんだよ。
I'm sure there was a really good reason for it.
ね、福？君は意味なくいたずらをする子じゃないって。
Right, Puffy?
俺たちは分かってるから。
We all know you'd never cause anyone any trouble like that for no reason. My master was truly remarkable. What I recalled as I watched the three of them dry up the water were the bright faces all humans who smiled at me every day since my capture. I suppose it cannot be helped. I must make up for what my master lacks. I am a pufferfish. My name is Puffy, and this is my story. My favorite part of the game so far, Puffy, 1010. Though I may cower at my master who is friendly and helpful to those around him, I am the world's most loyal fish. I pledge to be at his side until the day I am eaten. That's so cute. What the heck? It's because we did not end up with like a bird companion like in Winter's Wish, so this is what we got instead. Interesting, interesting. 1010. Love for a moment, love for a lifetime. Interesting, interesting. We're doing it. We're making progress. And the good news is there's 8 pages, but one of those pages only has one thing. So technically when you think about it, 7 pages. So if we get to like three-ish, get 3-ish done, we should be in a good spot. No matter if the last vestige of my first self are lost, my memory of you all are still alive within me. Oh, mama.
遅くまで家事を手伝わせてしまってごめんなさいね。
She said not to make you want to get a chest tattoo. I mean, look at this woman. I'm sorry to make you help with the chores so late at night,
あとは
Leah.
子供たちが寝たのを確認して回るだけだから。
I just
あ
need
な
to
た
go
はゆっ
around
くり休んで。
and make sure the children are asleep, so please rest. Alright, just let me know if there's anything else I can help
わ
with.
かったわ。
I will.
けれどその前に。
Before that, as my beloved daughter turned a head into her room, I gave her a light kiss on the cheek. Oh, why so suddenly, mother?
久しぶりにしたくなって。あなたが小さい頃はよく眠る前にしてあげたでしょ。
It's been so long since I've done that. I used to kiss you goodnight when you were little, remember? Of course I do. I was always able to sleep so well because of it. And it looks like I'll be able to sleep well tonight too. Good night, mother. Sweet dreams.
ええ、ありがとう。
Yes, thank you. I watched Leah off as she smiled shyly. I then quietly sat down at a nearby chair.
立派に家事をこなすあの子が頼もしくて、同時に少し寂しくて、つい懐かしいことをしてしまったわ。
She's so reliable that she's grown up, but I'm a little sad at the same time. I just wanted to enjoy the past again. Just as Leah said, it's really been a long time since I had kissed her goodnight.
私の肉体が変わらなくても、子供たちは日々成長していく。
Even though my body doesn't change, the children grow older each
やっぱ
day.
り私は、あの子たちの母をしているのが、一
I have to
番
say-
性に合ってるわ。
Being their mother really does feel right to me. I pulled out the letter from my desk drawer. It came just the other day from a man of a prestigious family. Marry me, Salome. If you agree, I will give you money to support the orphanage. Honestly, same girl. I will work here. I will give you everything.
口説き文句にしては、下手すぎるわね。
What a horrible attempt to catch the attention of a lady. Listen, I will do whatever you need. What woman would actually be happy to receive a message like this? To be honest, I was in need of money for the orphanage. I was forced out of my position, and the corrupt royals hardly contributed any aid to their people, least of all the orphanage. It was all so they could live as extravagantly as
この
possible.
男も、おそらく同類ね。
I'm sure this man is exactly the same. I had no need to
さら
reply.
に、私には、
And besides,
クリスティーヌ、リアム、
oh, Christine, Liam.
大好きだ。僕の大事な妻と息子よ。
I love you, my precious wife and son. I'd already given my love to a better man who truly loved me in return. My name is Christine Revpor. When my brother, the previous king, passed away, I succeeded the throne at 18, becoming the reigning queen of Arpachel. I am also a woman who detests the curse of death more than anyone in this country. After ascending to the throne of as Arpachel's ruler, I was not a reliver yet and was still purely human. I struggled trying to find the answer to the curse of our short lives. Upon becoming 19, I committed to the political marriage of my cousin, Isaac Revpor. Because his body was weak, he was treated coldly even among the royals, but he felt more strongly than anyone for the people suffering over our short lives. Didn't realize they were
国
cousins.
とは民ありき。
No wonder she's so down for this family happening. A nation is built by its people.
王とは民を治めるものではなく、
A king
民
should
の
not
献身に
subjugate them.
応え感謝し、礼として守護するものである。
A king must appreciate their labor and show his gratitude by being their protector. At the time, it was simply a political marriage and there was no romance between us. But after coming to understand how noble his heart was, it did not take long for me to feel genuine affection towards him. And he loved me in return.
君との子が欲しい。
I wish we could have a child.
後継ぎにするためじゃなく、ただ君と一緒に幸せにするために。
Not as an heir, but so that we can have a happy family together. In the midst of royal obsession with greed, he was the only one who wanted to live as a family with me. I still vividly remember the joy I felt when my beloved and I became a welcomed a child of our own into our lives. Is there a picture? I want a picture.
ああ、よく無事に生まれてきてくれたね。僕たちの世界でただ一人の。
I'm so glad you were born safely. Our one and only precious child.
君も頑張ってくれてありがとう。やっぱり君は僕なんかよりよほど強い人だ。
Thank you for working so hard, darling. You are a much stronger person than I will ever be.
僕は病弱で弱い男だけど、君とこの子を守るために精一杯戦うってここに誓うよ。
I may be in poor health, but I swear that I will fight to the best of my ability to protect you and our child.
そうだ。まず名前を決めないとね。実はクロード夫妻に助言をもらって考えていたんだよ。
That's right, we must decide of a name for the baby. I actually have one in mind already, discussing it with the Clyde family.
君も気に入ってくれると嬉しいな。外の国の言葉で強い意志を意味する。強い君の息子にふさわしい綺麗な名前。
Okay, just making sure, because he said Clyde family and I got a little confused. I do hope you like it. It means strong will in the outside world, a beautiful name to honor the strength we've given our son.
リアム。それが強い君の血を引く強いこの子の名前だ。
The name of our boy blessed with the strength of his mother.
愛してる、クリスティーヌ。君の夢を一緒に叶えてあげられなくて、本当にごめんよ。
I love you, Christine. I'm so sorry I was unable to make your dreams come true.
どうかリアムと共に幸せに。
お願いよ。
Please be happy with Liam.
私
I
を
don't
一
know
人
if
に
it
しないで。
did that long. Please don't leave me.
この子や私と一緒に呪いのないアルペシエルを見るんじゃなかったの？
Didn't you say you were going to see Arpachel free of its curse with me and our child? But his fragile life came to an end. My husband was unable to become a reliver as my underhanded family destroyed his backup data. I was alone, at a loss for what to do.
そうね。リアム。
That's right, Liam.
あの人の分まで。私があなたのことを。
I had to protect you for his sake too. If your family is so corrupt and you are the queen, should have killed them right then and there. Just saying. Until his final moments, he only wished for our
愛
happiness.
しているわ。イザック。今までも。これからも。
I know how she pronounced it, but I'm going to pronounce it the way I've always pronounced it. I love you, Isaac, now and forever. I remember clearly even now.
そう思っていたのにね。
That's what I hoped. I looked down at the flowers marked blooming on my chest. Our story did not have a miraculous fairy tale ending, and when I revived as a reliver, I found that I had lost all romantic
イザッ
feelings.
ク。
Isaac. I wonder when it was that I had forgotten the sound of his voice. I still think it'd been better if she had child with Sheen. I'm just saying. It could have also been a political marriage. Nevertheless,
私がこの身を捧げるのはあなただけ。
you're the only one to whom I will devote myself.
他の誰かに 触らせたりなんてするものですか。
I'll never let anyone else touch me. I ruthlessly tore the letter into shreds. I knew he would nag at me in the future, but I had already made my decision from the beginning. I stepped outside and looked up at the beautiful night
唯一
sky.
この星空の輝きだけはあなたを失った日から変わらない。
The one thing that it hasn't changed since I lost you in the brightness of the sky. The one thing that hasn't changed since I lost you is the brightness of this starry sky, even if I had lost all emotions that could be called
あ
love.
なたという素晴らしい人を愛せて、かつての私は幸せだった。
I was so happy before to love someone as amazing
あな
as
た
you.
もそう思うでしょう。
Don't you agree,
リ
Liam?
アム、
I would never forget
初恋も最後の愛も
my first and last
す
love.
べてあなたのもとに置いていくわ。
I will give everything I
私の
have
イザ
for
ッ
you,
ク。
Isaac. I would never forget that there were once those who risked their lives to love me. Bum bum. I mean, I'm gonna enjoy every single story that has to do with Mum. Everyone in Arpachel spoke of the god who had taken human form. The god resided in the shrine of wisdom that people called the Institute. Those who knew him agreed that his office was quite peculiar. Everyone, ... All those who laid eyes upon it were astounded by how, well,
汚ねえ部屋だな。
this room's a mess.
不潔な部屋だね。
This is filthy.
浄化の必要がある部屋です。
This room must be purified. You don't have to be so blunt about it.
いえいえ、事実ですから。遠慮なくズビッとズバッと部屋の主にお部屋と言っちゃってください。
No, no, it's the truth. Don't hold back. Tell him exactly how much of a pigsty it is. Just took my medicine and she makes me drowsy, so I'll be out for an hour, so have a great stream. Awesome. Well, I hope that you feel better. And I'll probably be on for about another hour, maybe a little less, depending on how it feels, because I'm going to be going to my job at Samurai Comics tonight. And then after I get home from Samurai Comics and we eat dinner, I'm going to play Zelda tonight. Because I want to unlock some more stuff. I want to remember the controls. Get ready for me to forget all the controls and have to remember how to do everything again. Which is why I always stop playing Zelda and then start all over again, because it's just easier for me to just remember by playing it again. Zelda! Yeah, my dream is to finish Breath of the Wild this year before May, and that way I can start either Tears of the Kingdom or Link's Awakening. We'll see. Dragging in a mountain of cleaning supplies, Dahat gave his unrelenting criticism of Sheen's room.
ダハトを介してシアンさんから依頼が入った時、君も一緒にってお願いされたから何事かと思ったけど。
I got a question from Sheen about through Dahat when he asked me to come with Leah, so I was wondering what this was about, but
この部屋を見るとだいたい予想できちゃうね。
looking around, it's pretty obvious what needs to happen, huh? Right, that request.
お掃除のために僕たちも呼ばれたんですよね。
Was for all of us to come here and clean the room, right?
さすがにこの状態を2、3人で何度かできるとは思わんからな。
I'm certain that 2 or 3 people alone can't take care of it in this
死神の娘を呼べばおまけもついてくると踏んで ダハトに呼ぶよう命じておいた。
I surmised that calling the Maiden of Death here would bring some other riffraff with her, so I had to hot make the request.
誰がおまけだ？
Who are you calling riffraff?
要するに、姫君を手伝い、私たちにもこの汚らわしい部屋を掃除しろ。
So essentially, you want us to help the princess in cleaning this disgusting room.
報酬は弾む。せいぜい励め。
The pay's good. Now get to it.
手伝うのは構いませんが、汚した張本人であるあなたも責任を持って掃除してくださいね。
I don't mind helping, but the culprit that caused this mess should take responsibility for it as well, don't you think?
面倒だが仕方ない。この後奇跡的に予定は入っていないしな。
I suppose this hassle is unavoidable. Miraculously, I don't have anything planned right now. She sighed, truly feeling annoyed at his new development. If that's what you need, I accept. I do love cleaning, so I'll help with whatever I can.
僕も。
Me too.
でも、重要なデータがある場所に僕たちを入れていいんですか？
Is it really alright for us to all be in this place where you have such important data?
重要なものがあるからこそ、研究とは関係のない皆さんが呼ばれたと言いますか。
It is important, which is exactly why I asked all of you here, because you aren't involved in any of this research.
シアンさん、個人的な私物をこの部屋でなくしちゃったみたいなんですよ。
It appears some personal belongings of Sheen went missing in this room.
なので掃除する過程でそれを探してほしい。
So,
との
through
こ
the
とです。
cleaning, we were hoping you could all search for them as well. Personal belongings?
パズルピースだ。
Puzzle pieces.
パズルピース？
Puzzle pieces. A three-dimensional image of a puzzle was displayed in mid-air.
硬い紙で作られた絵の破片のようなものだ。
You might call them fragments of a picture made out of cardboard, which I have a bunch of, by the way. I bought a new one at the thrift store, and it says it's missing a piece. Like this bunny puzzle pieces, if I put it together and figure out which pieces are missing. You might call them fragments of a picture made out of cardboard.
描かれている色や模様がピースによって違う。ゴミと間違えて捨てるなよ。
The fragments differ depending on the color and pattern. Don't throw out anything with that trash.
わざわざ警告するということは、も
He's
し
going
や。
out of his way to warn us. Lucas glanced over at Tahat.
あはは。当たりです。実は掃除の代理をお願いしていた部下がそれを捨てちゃいまして。
A subordinate I asked to help clean up the place actually threw it away.
シアンさんから大目玉を食らいましたよ。王族のおべっかに3時間拘束されてもあんなに怒ったことないのに。
Sheen really let us have it. I haven't seen him this angry since he was stuck talking to the royal family for 3 hours straight.
確認もせず廃棄したお前が悪い。
You're at fault
あ
for
れ以
not
来俺は
checking
お前らによる掃除を一切信用していない。
before letting them throw it out. Since then, I've never trusted any of you to do the cleaning. After hearing Sheen's explanation, Eves nodded, understanding the situation.
なるほど。要は掃除をしつつ、ピースを全部回収すればいいんですね。
I see. So we essentially need to recover these puzzle pieces as we clean,
お
right?
任せください。安心安全のクルーンが友人たちの力を借りつつ解
Leave it
決
to
しま
us.
す。
The reliable Courrune will take care of this with the help of our friends. He spoke with confidence, beating his hand at his chest as he spoke. I assume, something like that. And so everyone split into 3 even groups and began cleaning right away. Tahat went back to his room to prepare some snacks and bring out to everyone. Oh, goody. I know there's a lot of cleaning that needs to be done, but I think it would be a good idea to gather all the lab coats. Sheen, is it alright to launder the lab coats and towels on the ground?
薬液で汚れている白衣は研究所で対応する。それ以外は好きにしろ。
The Institute will take care of any coats stained with chemicals. Do what you want with anything else. Understood then.
私も手伝おう、姫君。君一人でこの量の布を運び出すのは大変だろう？
I'll help you, princess. It would be difficult trying to carry out this many linen on your own all at once. Are you sure? Thanks, Anku. After separating the linen with Anku under scene directions, we exited out to the garden where there was running water, filling large buckets to begin cleaning. I can tell by the feel of them, the fabric of these coats really differ from everyday wear, isn't it?
汚れることが前提だからな。
They're designed to get dirty after all.
しかし初めてにしてはなかなかの手際だ。今度は解剖着の選択を任せてやってもいいぞ。
Not bad for your first time cleaning these. I suppose I should let you clean the autopsy suits as well next time.
私の姫君にそんなものを触れさせないでもらいたいのだが。
I would rather prefer you not make the princess have to touch such things. Anku continued washing Shin's coats, seemingly accustomed to the process. You really are good at washing clothes, Anku. I didn't think something like washing clothes existed in Hades.
ああ、実は昔、興味半分で人間の生活を真似たことがあってね。
To be honest, I tried mimicking the life of a human in the past.
その時に家事のことを少しばかり学んだんだ。
And that's when I learned a few things about chores. I see, I didn't know you were such a curious person. For some reason, Anku glared at Shin as he snorted. Unsure of what was going on, I continued through the laundry. We're done! It feels so nice to have all the laundry washed and dried like this.
そうだね。心地よい香りも風に乗って飛んでくる。
Yes, and a pleasant smelling breeze is blowing through as well.
結局俺まで手伝う羽目になったな。何のために依頼をしたんだか。
I ended up helping in the end anyways. Why did I even ask for help?
洗濯？所長が洗濯？
Laundry? The director's doing laundry?
あの所長が？明日は違法製造されたリライバーが研究所を襲撃するんじゃないか？
Him, of all people? I'm sure this is an omen of something bad, like the Institute's being attacked by illegal relivers tomorrow. Well, just doing laundry, I wonder why so many people are watching us. Maybe it was because doing laundry by hand was unusual in Cernavel, where it was technologically advanced. Oh my gosh, words. A few hours later. Clean the floors. I suppose I should prioritize cleaning the floor where there's the most dust.
それなら僕たちも手伝います。
Then we'll help you.
落ちているものの中には君じゃ持ち上げられないものもあるだろうしね。
I'm sure there's plenty of things on the floor you wouldn't be able to pick up by yourself. Thanks, and let's all work together, shall we? The other two helped me move around objects as we carefully swept and dusted the trash. As we carefully swept up dust and trash. We didn't dust the trash.
すごく楽しそうですね。
You seem to be having so much fun. Oh, can you tell? Well, I guess this might be rude as it's someone else's room, but it's not often I come across a room so satisfying to clean.
あなたはお掃除が大好きですからね。
You do love cleaning after all, Leah.
でもシアンさんが言ってたパズルのピースは見当たらないね。
But I don't see any of those puzzle pieces Sheen was talking about.
散らばってるものの中に紛れ込んでるのかな。
Maybe they're hidden in all the stuff tossed around. With that, Eves headed for an area with a considerable amount of objects lying around and stepped right on one of the lab coats on the floor.
Oh!
Uh-oh. Right as he spoke. He fell right on top of an empty apparatus on the floor that was used for experiments.
イブさん
Eves! Mathis and I rushed over to Eves after his calamitous fall. However, in contrast to our worry,
見て二人とも倒れ込んだ場所に偶然ピースが落ちてた。
is he covered in blood? Look, you two, right where I fell, there was a piece lying right here. Eve stood straight back up and held up a piece he found in his hand with a
この
smile.
辺りを重点的に探せばもっと見つかるかも。
If we search around here, we might find more. As he spoke, blood poured from his head. In his panic, Mathis moved to pull out the shards of glass stuck in Eve's forehead and then suddenly stopped. This is alright to take out. I feel like even more blood will come out if I pull it out. You're right. We should make a hasty decision and just follow Sheen's directions instead.
お、もう一個発見。やっぱりこの辺りに散らばってるんだ。
Yawning. I found another. They really are scattered everywhere. We understand. Please, just don't move. Eves! Oh wait, after that, Eve's wounds ended up a minor affair. After being treated by Sheen, who came to us with an annoyed look upon hearing our commotion, in the end we found most of the pieces thanks to Eve.
イ
But
ブさんの血と引き換えに見つけたと思うとあんまり嬉しくないです。
I'm not too happy that we found them in exchange for Eve's getting wounded. Right, let's search for the rest without relying on Eve's or any luck. Oh, oops, wrong way. If we clean the floor and walls like this, the fallen books and equipment might get dirty. Maybe we should tidy up first.
そういうことでしたら私も職業柄本の管理には慣れていますから。
That's the case. Allow me to help. I'm quite used to organizing books considering my profession.
教師が言うと頼もしいな。
That actually sounds like a lot of help coming from you, teacher. Hey, yeah, although Sheen might have reasons why they're put everywhere they are, I'll go ask him if that's alright to move these things. I'm back. He said he'd separate all the books on the floor by topic, and he wants us to put them all back in their place once we're done cleaning.
本を手の届くところに置く性質か。身に覚えはあるが、ここまで散らかすのはもう才能だな。
So he wants us to keep all his books in reach. I guess I can relate, but it takes real talent to leave so many of them like
君
this.
が確認してくれて助かりました。
Thanks for checking with him, Leah.
表紙が汚れている本もありますから、汚れを取りつつ整理していきましょう。
Some of the covers of the books are dirty. Let's clean them while we're organizing. All right. Being careful not to drench the books, I carefully washed the covers and put them back into the shelf. Adolphe and Lucas took care of the bigger books on the floor.
先生、床に広がってるその本を取ってくれるか？俺が持ってる本と著者が同じらしい。
Lucas, could you grab that book on the floor for me? It looks like it's the same author as the one I have here.
わかりました。どうぞこちら。
Right, here you go. The entire building shook, forcing a yelp out of me. What was that? An earthquake? Earthquakes rarely happen in this country. Adolphe, Lucas, are you both alright? Worried, I looked back. For some reason, the floor, which was an entirely ordinary floor just earlier, had a considerably large hole open into it. Huh? What? Baffled as to what just happened, I looked at Adolphe, hoping for an explanation.
虫、雲が。私の肌の上を直接張って。
A bug! A spider! It crawled right onto my skin! Adolphe then looked at Lucas, who was shaking. Oh, could it be? I clamped my hands, remembering that he was afraid of insects. You must have been startled by the insect and turned over some large equipment or something, right, Lucas? Lucas? Right? If so, we need to go and apologize to Sheen. What's wrong,
もう
Adolphe?
誰に何を言っても信じねえんだろうな。
I'm sure no one would believe me even if I tried to explain. A few hours later, after a mild amount of commotion, we were all able to finish the cleaning, and we were now partaking in the tea and sweets that Dahat prepared out of his own kindness.
なんとか見れるぐらいの部屋には戻りましたね。
The room is finally back to some semblance of its past self, I see. The room...
なぜ床に穴が開いているかは謎だがな。まあこの程度なら一日で治るだろう。
Though it's a mystery why there's a hole in the floor now, well, it'll take just a day to fix something like that. Oh no, we have to go back and do the other ones.
そこだけ老朽化をしていたのかもしれませんね。
That spot in particular must have been quite deteriorated.
ピースも全部見つかりましたね。今度はなくさないようにしっかり管理してくださいよ。
Looks like we got all the pieces. Be sure to keep an eye on them so they don't get lost again, okay?
それなりに苦労したのだから部屋も最低1ヶ月はこの状態を維持してくれ。
You worked pretty hard. Try to keep it this way for a month at least.
考えておく。
I'll consider it.
シアンさん、本当に考えてるだけで実行する気ないでしょ。
Sheen, you're literally... Sheen, you're literally only considering it and aren't intending on doing anything at all, right?
僕はまたお掃除をお手伝いしても大丈夫です。
I'm fine with helping you out to clean again.
皆さんと一緒に作業するのすごく楽しかったので。
It was really fun working alongside everyone. Me too. It's not often that all of us gather together like this.
二人とも優しいですね。ですが、手伝ってばかりではシアンさんのためになりませんよ。
You both are so kind. However, always doing whatever for Sheen won't help him in the end, you know?
まったくだ。あまり最古のじじいを甘やかすな。
Seriously, don't pamper the old geezer too much. Our quiet tea party continued as we all gave our thoughts on the cleaning. The gods shrine that stood in cold, distant solitude at some point became a warm, welcoming place. Okay, so even though it acted like there was like a special line, it wasn't. Alright. Struggling to cook again. I spelled struggling wrong so bad just there. What the heck? The weather was clear and calm today. The light raining down on Arpachel felt so gentle. Weather as nice as this would make anyone want to have a picnic. On such a day.
なんてことだ。
I can't believe it.
みんな、俺の料理が美味しすぎて気絶しちゃうなんて。
Everybody fainted because the food I made was just that good.
そんなわけねえだろ!
Of course not. I see. So that's why you were suspended from cooking duty.
そうなんだ。今回は自信があったんだけど、何が悪かったのかな。
For sure I nailed it this time. I wonder what went wrong. Mother was away from the orphanage today. There Eve stood, shaking his head, having come to visit after hearing I had the day off. I had already finished all of my chores today, so I was happy to have a chance to sit and talk with him. I've never actually tasted your cooking, but I've heard...
Is
it really that strange? I'm just cooking exactly the way my grandfather taught me. Eves was really troubled. I knew he liked cooking, so I was sure he wanted to be put back on cooking duty as soon as possible. Just looking at him now made me want to help him with his troubles. I like cooking too, so I'm just gonna be sad to be forced to stop out of nowhere. That said, I couldn't arrogantly try and fix his cooking when I hadn't even tried it once. I wanted at least one more person to know who was good at cooking to evaluate his skills. Oh yeah, I did know someone suitable. Eves, if the person I have in mind is willing, would you like to try working on your cooking skills with all three of us? I knew this person was busy and would be difficult for him to find time to come over, but I would try and ask him anyways. Is it Jean? We got Jean coming over here.
こんにちは。呼ばれてきました。研究所の癒しことダハトです。
I came as asked, the kind and gentle member of the Institute, the Hut.
なんでもここでイブさんのお料理特訓をするとか面白そうなので僕も混ぜてください。
I heard Eves is going through some culinary training. That just sounds too fun. Please let me join you. I thought he wouldn't be able to come, but it seemed we were lucky. I was able to have the Hut join us, who was good at both cooking and baking sweets. Hello, the Hut. Thank you so much for coming.
貴重な休みなのに俺の特訓に付き合ってもらっていいの？
You rarely ever have days off. Are you really sure you're okay with helping me out?
問題なしなしです。料理は僕にとって大切な息抜きですから。
It's absolutely no problem. Cooking is one of my dearest hobbies after all.
むしろお誘いいただけてすっごく嬉しいです。
In fact, I'm thrilled that you both invited me here. I'm glad to hear that. I'll explain a bit about what happened when I visited the Institute.
イブさんの料理の腕を上達させたいんですよね。
You want to help Eves improve his cooking skills, right?
シアンさんもなんかイブさんのお料理を散々けなしてましたけど、さすがに大げさですよね。
It's my sound machine. I was like, what is this? Shane also had more than his fair share of critiques about Eve's food, but I'm sure he's just exaggerating.
とりあえず実物を見てもらおうか。ダハトが到着する時間に合わせて一品作っておいたんだよ。
In any case, just take a look. I started cooking, so something would be ready right when you got here. As Eve spoke, he excitedly headed into the kitchen and came back with a small plate.
わ、卵料理すっごい美味しそうじゃないですか。やっぱりシアンさんたちが大げさ。
Oh, eggs! This looks quite delicious. I knew Sheen was exaggerating. The moment the Hut was about to take a bite, a dubious puff of smoke rose from the dish. What was that? The Hut gave me an inquiring look, and I looked back as if to say I had no idea.
隠し味としてうちの庭で採れた野菜を使ってみたんだ。香りもすごくいいでしょう。
I tried. Oh my gosh! I just hit my switch. I was looking for this entire time. I tried using some vegetables from my garden for flavor. They smell really great, right? Eves took a bite for the food with a smile on his face.
おいしい。
Oh yeah, that's good.
この料理自警団のみんなにも出したんだけど、結局感想を聞けなかったんだよね。
I cooked this for everyone in the corps too, but I wasn't able to hear what they thought about it.
だからダハトも食べてみてよ。率直な感想を聞かせてもらいたいな。
Try some, Dahat. I want to hear your honest opinion. I could see the blood instantly drain from Dahat's face. Dahat, I'll try the food so you can just look at how it's prepared.
ダメです。僕だって男なんですから。女の子にかばわれるわけには。
I'm a man. I cannot allow a girl to sacrifice herself for me. Was this really that dire of a situation?
そうだ。 いっそ実際の食事を想定して
That's it. How
他にも
about
何品か作ってみましょう。
how about we have you try making several other dishes? Hmm? Hmm?
それなら一品ぐらいまともな料理ができるはずですよね。
That way, one of them would have to be at least somewhat decent, right?
ダハト、明暗って顔をしてるけど、本音が全部声に出てるよ。
Bahat, I know you're trying to help, but your true feelings about it are really obvious. His face looked like it was sad puppy as he muttered with his head down.
それじゃあ気を取り直して王道な料理から作ろうか。
Let me try again and make a classic dish.
材料もちょうど揃ってるし、君の得意なシチューがいいかな。
You have the ingredients here, so maybe that stew Leah is always so great at making. You can do it, Eves. I'll let you know right away if there's anything wrong.
うん、ありがとう。協力してくれる二人のためにも絶対美味しいシチューを作ってみせる
Alright,
から。
thanks. I promise I'll make you two a delicious stew for all of your help. But is he gonna add something random?
まずはよく洗ったアドルフ特製の野菜を切り揃えていく。
Alright, so I'll cut up some of Adele's vegetables, which are washed
もち
thoroughly.
ろん煮崩れしないよう野菜によって違う形にね。
Of course, they'll be in different shapes so they don't fall apart while being cooked. And after putting them in the pot, I'll cook them through first before
焦がさ
simmering.
ないよう注意しながら野菜がそれぞれいい色になるまで火を通していくよ。
I'll keep going until they have a nice color while being careful not to burn
浮
them.
かんできたよどみを取りつつ十分に火が通ったら
Then I'll remove the residue from the top, and after the vegetables are all cooked,
水と小麦粉を適量追加。全体に馴染んだら美味しい牛乳を投入っと。
I'll add in just the right amount of water and flour. Once they're all incorporated together, I'll add in some delicious
あと
milk.
はとろみがつくまで混ぜて十分に煮込んだら
Now I'll mix until it's nice and thick, and after some more boiling,
家の敷地内を歩いていたなんか美味しそうな生物を処理したものを入れさらに煮込むことで
I'll toss in this yummy-looking creature I found running around my house, then boil it some more.
完成。隠し味たっぷりのイブ特製シチュー。食べ盛りの男も満足できる大盛りだよ。
And it's done! Eve's special stew with a secret ingredient. There's enough in the pot to satisfy even the biggest appetite.
どうしよう。途中までは完璧だったのに最後で取り返しがつかなくなりました。
My goodness, it was so perfect up until that very last moment when it became unsalvageable.
まさかまだ生きてた？
What the heck was that? I heard some odd noises with the agonizing last cries of something. Was that thing still alive? It does look like a normal delicious stew.
確かに食べもしないでまずいと決めつけるのは料理人としての矜持が廃ると言いますか。
I suppose so. It would be an insult to a chef's pride to say something tastes terrible without even eating it. Dahat built up the courage to try the dish, and as he dipped a spoon into the small bowl to taste test the stew, the spoon changed colors.
いやー！助けてください神様シアン様！鍋の中で変な化学反応が起こってます！
Oh god, Sheen, please save me! There's some sort of chemical reaction eating away at the metal.
たまたまスプーンが古かったんだよ。味には支障ないはずだから。
That spoon must be old. There's nothing wrong with the taste.
やっぱり美味しい。隠し味の言葉では表現できないお肉の味が全体に広がってる。
Just as tasty as I thought. The indescribable flavor of the meat is in every bite of the stew. Really? Then I suppose I should try it as well. Stop. I picked up another spoon and scraped up a spoonful of the stew. The color did change, but not paying it any mind. I brought it close to my mouth and... Huh? The spoon's head dipped down as the handle bent and melted. The stew plopped onto the ground and continued to burn into the floor, eventually evaporating completely into the air.
Oh, もったいない。
Oh, what a waste. After a few seconds of silence.
あ、シアンさん、ダハトです。
Jean, it's me, Dahat.
すみませんが至急こちらに毒などの危険物処理に優れた研究員を回してください。
Sorry to bother you, but please send over a hazmat team to clean up this toxic chemical spill immediately, Dahat's panicked voice echoed through the sky. After that, Adolphe, who had come to visit the orphanage, scolded us for doing something that dangerous, strangely threatening the lives of others.
だから、俺の料理は危険物じゃないんだ
My
けど。
cooking isn't dangerous at all. Eves muttered in protest, but I felt it would be a long while until he could prove that was true. Okay, this is probably going to be the last one given what time it is, since I'm trying to end at 4. But we'll see how it goes. All right. Unless it's extremely short. But I don't know. Which would be nice, because then I would finish 3 of these, and that'd be good. I had been living alongside Leah and others working to help track down a killer. I happened to be alone with Mathis, conversing with him about the different districts as I watched over his studies.
そういえばリュカ先生はシュディの出身なんですよね。
That's right, Lucas, you're from Chadis, right?
どういう経緯でクーネに移り住んだんですか？
How did you end up living in Cohen? Mathis asked his question during a break in between solving problems. It would be quite difficult to explain my circumstances to him.
お恥ずかしい話ですが、私はプルースト家の当時の当主、つまりは父と折り合いが悪くて。
It's rather embarrassing, but I didn't get along well with my father, the head of the Proust family.
喧嘩の末に家で同然で屋敷を飛び出し、クーネに隠れ住むことになったんです。
After a fight with him, I practically ran away from home and hid myself in Cohen.
そうだったんですか。
Is that so?
ごめんなさい。なんだか踏み込んだことを聞いちゃいましたよね。
I'm sorry, that question was a little too personal, wasn't it?
いえいえ、お気になさらず。特に隠していることでもありませんから。
No, please, don't worry. It's nothing I intended to hide. It's nothing I intended to hide. I'd already explained something similar to the orphanage where I worked as a visiting teacher.
プルースト家という名前を聞いたことはありませんけど、
I haven't heard of the Proust family before.
もしリュカ先生が家出をせずにシュディで暮らしていたら、
If you hadn't run away from home and were still living in Chadis,
僕たち最初から知り合っていたかもしれませんね。
we may have already been acquainted, right?
確かにそうですね。
That's true.
私も幼い頃のマティス君とマティス君のお兄さんにお会いしたかったです。
I wish I could have met you when you were younger and your brother as well.
想像したら楽しいですよね。
That's nice to imagine. I see, though he was gone now, I was sure Mathis's brother would have taken great care of him. Seeing how earnest and pure he was made me feel so much at ease.
リュカ先生はシュディでどんな生活をしていたんですか？
What was life like you in Chadis, Lucas? Which was why I had no reason not to continue this conversation with him. Although I didn't want to remember much about my relationship with my parents.
そうですね。父は体を鍛えるのが趣味と言いますか、仕事のようなものでしたから。
My father loved physical training. You could say it was part of his job. And I was forced to join him every day.
うわ、それは大変でしたね。 リカ先生はどちらかというと勉強の方が好きそうなのに。
Wow, that sounds tough. You seem to like studying more after all.
ええ。私も君に負けず劣らず、本の虫でしたよ。
I'm quite the bookworm, and I'm determined not to lose to you.
父の目を盗んでは逃げ、勉強と読書を繰り返していました。
I snuck away from my father at times, constantly studying and reading.
僕の兄さんと一緒です。厳しい勉強より冒険譚を書く方がよっぽど楽しいって。
Did he? That's just like my brother. He loved writing adventure novels much more than studying. Mathis sat as if reminiscing about a beautiful memory that resurfaced through our conversation. But after a brief moment of happiness, Mathis suddenly looked crestfallen. I was honestly confused. The minister orders never once targeted anyone from the Clyde family, and because of that and his desire for revenge against Virche, I had always kept a careful eye on him.
けれど、この悲しみは演技ではない。
However, this sadness is no act. He truly was saddened over the loss of his treasured brother. Although I couldn't tell if the one who was saddened was truly him or someone else.
ごめんなさい。自分から兄さんのことを話しておいて、こんな空気にするなんて。
I'm sorry, I'm the one who mentioned my brother, yet I'm making myself sad over him.
構いません。それだけお兄さんを思う気持ちが強いということでしょ。
It's quite all right. That just shows how strongly you feel for him. I knew all too well just how grave the idea was of losing a sibling. As I told him he had no need to apologize, I swept my hand over his beautiful silver hair.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. I knew I couldn't do much for him, however.
僕も先生みたいな立派な大人になってクロード家を守らなくちゃ。
I had to become a strong man just like you, Lucas, and protect the Clyde family. A noble family.
当時とは名ばかりで、今は遺産に頼って生活しているような状態ですし。
Right now, I'm the head of the family only in name, and I'm just living off the assets that have been left to me.
そういえば、クロード家は屈指の名門でしたね。
Come to think of it, the Clyde family is among the oldest nobles. I imagined just how grand those assets might be. I had a bad feeling about this.
マティス君、不快だったら答えなくとも構わないのですが。
Mathis, you don't need to answer this if you don't want
今、
to.
クロード家は月にどのぐらいの費用を使い生活していますか？
How much does the Clyde estate require for monthly upkeep?
though
surprised by the sudden question, Mathis used a sheet of paper to calculate how much they were spending each month.
確か平均このぐらいかと。
This should be the average. As he spoke, Mathis showed me the sum, which was
シュディでも2年は遊んで暮らせる金額。
enough for a life of luxury and shadas for 2 full years. I felt dizzy from the amount, which far exceeded my expectations.
ジャンさんから使いすぎだとたしなめられたことは？
Have you ever been cautioned by Jean that you might be spending too much?
あります。
I have.
でもブローの情報を集めるためにこの兵や目撃者にお金を握らせたりしなくちゃいけないので。
I had to offer money to Royal Guard members and witnesses to gather information about
マティス
Virche.
君、それはおそらく足元を見られています。
Mathis, I imagine you're being taken advantage of.
仮に情報が本物だとしても、ここまでの大金を払う必要はありません。
And even if the information you receive is true, you don't have to pay that much money.
そうなんですか？
Really? Mathis seemed very genuinely
金
surprised.
銭感覚がずれているとは思っていましたが、まさかここまでとは。
I guess his perception of money was off, but not by this much. I couldn't let him remain this
マティ
way.
ス君、すべてが落ち着いたら一度ジャンさんも交えて面談をしましょうか。
Mathis, once everything has settled down, perhaps we should talk to Jean about this together.
はい。僕も先生とお話しできるのは 楽しい
Sure.
ですから。
I do enjoy being able to speak with you, Lucas. There was a need to teach this boy about the average person's life, mostly related to expenses. That said, it was true that there was the lives we were able to live together like this through the financial support of the Clyde family. I must be sure not to criticize their spending and be thankful instead.
マティス君が将来立派なクロード家の当主になれるのを私も願っていますよ。
They got so much glare on them right now. What the heck? Made it worse. There we go. I hope as well that you will be an outstanding leader in the future for the Clyde family. One needed to knowledge and experience to fight against the unknown and the unfair. If he lacked the rights now, we adults need to help him in his efforts to obtain that. I think we should have enough time to finish the last one. All right. And that will be 3 whole pages worth of stuff done. Yay! That means there's only 4 left. It was night. The men gathered together in the house outside of town.
この服、本当にもらっていいの？アドルフが自分で買ったものでしょ？
You sure we can have these clothes? You bought these yourself, didn't you?
ああ、昨日ちょうど同じものをマムからもらってな。
Yeah, but I just got the same thing from mother yesterday.
呪いが解けた今、お前もさらに身長が伸びるだろうし、大きめの服を持っておくに越したことはないだろう。
Now that the curse is gone, I'm sure you'll be growing plenty. It wouldn't hurt to have some larger clothes.
じゃあありがたく。今度何かしらお礼をするね。
Thanks for this. I'll be sure to repay the favor next time. As he gave his thanks to Adolphe, Eve sat back down surrounded by bottles of alcohol. On this night, the men enjoyed a banquet. Everyone could be rowdy after a few drinks, but having only just started, nothing was particularly different about their behavior.
イブさん、もう十分大きいのに、これからもっと身長が伸びるんですか？
Eve's is already big enough. He's gonna grow even more?
あくまで可能性だけどね。18から19にかけて一気に伸びる人もいるから。
Well, it's only a possibility. There are people who have sudden growth spurts even around 18 or 19.
現にヒューゴも生身の肉体の時はその時期に身長が伸びたって話してたかな。
Actually, I remember Hugo talking about his body suddenly growing when he was around that age.
そう考えると成長に備えた服の用意は必要ですね。
Considering that, you would need to ready some clothes for any more growth. They continued discussing the topic as they slowly partook in their drinks.
ふと思ったのだが、
I just had a thought.
その理論でいくと、姫君も今後身長がさらに伸びる可能性があるのでは？
In the same line of thinking, is it not possible that the princess might suddenly grow as well?
ないとは言い切れんな。
I can't say it's impossible. Their thoughts turned to the young woman who might grow in a similar fashion.
身長が伸びることを前提として今から服を用意しておいた方がいいのでは？
If she might, wouldn't it be best to prepare some new clothes so she could wear?
そうだな。マムにも伝えておく。
You have a point. I'll let mother know.
それならいっそ、僕たちからそれぞれ贈り物として渡しませんか？
If that's the case, how about we all get her something?
彼女には普段からお世話になっていますから。
Leah's always helping me out after all.
それいい考えだね。仮に身長が伸びなくても増えた服でおしゃれを楽しめるし。
That's a good idea. Even if she doesn't grow, she can enjoy dressing up with even more clothes. Eves gestured in agreement with his glass at Mathis's suggestion. Other than Sheen, who grimaced in annoyance, everyone had a look of agreement on their faces, continuing their conversation.
それなら趣向が被らないよう 買う服の情報を共有しておくべきだろ
Then we must share with each other what sort of design we plan to get to avoid overlap.
趣向って言ってもな、普通のでいいんじゃねえか？
I don't think it needs to be anything fancy. We can just get our normal clothes, right?
人によって普通の基準は違うから、一応聞いておいた方がいいよ、アドルフ。
Everyone's definition of normal is different, Adolf, so it's probably a good idea to hear what everyone is thinking of. Adolf was convinced by the argument, nodding in agreement as he ate some of the snacks.
服なんぞ着られれば何でもいいだろう。余計な装飾がなければなお理想的だ。
Clothes just need to be something that you can wear. Even better if there aren't any ornamentations to get in the way.
シアンさんらしい意見ですね。
An opinion very expected of you, Sheen.
彼女は家事もしますから、確かに動きやすい服も必要そうです。そういう意味では正解かと。
She does a lot of chores, so it would surely need she would surely need clothes she can move in easily. I would say that's a possible answer.
そういう考え方もあるんですね。
I hadn't thought of it that way.
僕はジャンが買ってきてくれた服しか着ないので、なかなか思いつかないです。
I only buy the clothes Jean gets for me, so I can't really think of anything in particular.
もちろん彼女のために頑張って選ぼうとは思ってますけど。
I'll work hard to try and pick something out for her, of course.
その気です。贈り物に一番必要なのは心を込めることですよ。
That's the right attitude. That's most important when choosing a gift for someone is to think about that person.
そういう私も女性の服には詳しくないのですが。
However, I'm not one to speak as I'm not very knowledgeable about women's clothing. Lucas groaned with frustration.
今まで妹の服しか見たことがなかったものですから。
I have only really purchased clothes for my sister.
私が選ぶとどうしてもあの子が好む服と似たものになってしまうと思います。
If I were to choose something, I'm sure it would be something similar to hers.
いいと思いますよ。ナディアとお揃いに見える服なら彼女も喜んでくれるでしょうから。
I think that's fine. I'm sure she'd love some clothes that matches Nadia's.
確かに。それは私もぜひ見てみたいですね。
I suppose so. I would love to see them together dressed like that as well.
そういうお前はどうなんだ、イブ？
What about you, Eves?
俺？そうだな。この間店で見かけたドレスとか彼女によく似合うと思う。
Let's see. There's this dress I saw in a shop the other day that I think would look good on her.
成長に合わせて雰囲気を変えられるよう、小物のブローチや腕飾りとかも一緒に送ってあげたいかな。
I want to give her some small accessories like a brooch or a bracelet too, so that she can have those as an option.
さすが見た目に気を使ってるだけあって選ぶのがうまいな。
I guess since you're good at taking care of your own looks, this must be easy for you.
俺は目立たなければそれで十分だと思うが。
I think anything's good enough as long as you don't stand out.
やれやれ。そんなことだからどこにでもいる普通の男と呼ばれるんだよ、君は。
This is why everyone calls you an ordinary, boring, run-of-the-mill guy.
お前しか呼んでねえだろ。
You're the only one who calls me that.
俺の意見に文句があるなら、お前はさぞ立派な服をあいつに選んでやれるんだろうな。
Since you have a problem with my taste, I'm sure you'd pick out something so much better for her to wear.
当然だ。私の姫君には
Of course, I would say.
飾り布や装飾をふんだんに使った可憐かつ華美な装いこそふさわしい。
An adorable yet stunning ensemble that makes use of many ornamental pieces and accessories would suit her best. Huh?
髪飾りには宝石を用い、髪飾りには宝石を用い、ああ、私と揃いのレースなどもいいな。
With jewel-encrusted finery for her hair and a lace similar to my own would be nice.
何枚もの生地を重ねて美しい色合いを表現するのも捨てがたい。
I must also say that a complex blend of color can be achieved by layering multiple fabrics of beautiful hues.
ん？みんな揃って黙り込んで。
Why have you all fallen so quiet?
いや、
You know,
お
is it
前
is it a wedding dress?
一応確認するが、それがあいつに普通に似合う服だと思って言ってるんだよな。
Let me just ask this. That's what you'd pick, actually thinking it would be something that naturally fits her, right?
そのつもりだが。
Indeed it is.
いや、それにしては。
You know, it's just
派手ですね。
so flashy.
想像するだけで派手です。
Quite flashy, imagining it.
お前の意見が一番普通とは程遠い。
Your opinion's the furthest from what's considered normal.
それはそれで彼女に似合うと思うけどね。
That might be true, but I think it's still good. Would look good on her.
もしかしなくてもお前、
Don't tell me.
そのごちゃごちゃした服を着続けてる影響で派手な趣味に目覚めてるんじゃねえか？
You're not trying to draw her into some dangerous lifestyle that shows off her body by making her wear all that stuff, right?
なんだと？
What? That was the drifter, by the way. Mathis would later talk about how he felt as if he saw someone behind Anku enjoying his shocked reaction.
みんなの服の好みが聞けて面白かったよ。
It sure was fun listening to everyone talk about what they think would look good on her.
いつか身長が伸びた彼女も喜んでくれるといいな。
I hope she'll be happy with all the things that we get her once she's grown a little more
未
too.
来のことを当たり前のように語れるって幸せなことだよね。
It's nice to be able to talk about the future like it's a normal everyday thing, don't you think?
少し前のアルペシェールでは考えられなかった話題です。
Yes, it's the sort of topic that was simply unthinkable in Arpichel not that long ago. On a certain day of celebration later that year, a mountain of clothes was sent to the room of a girl who had grown since their discussion, but that was a tale for another time. Ooh, wait, does that mean we're gonna have the picture of her in her outfits? Mm-hmm. We're not gonna keep going because we got stuff. Do we have any more images? Oop, there's an image on this page. Great, great, great. Oh, interesting. That one's gonna be interesting to get to. But yeah, we got through 3 of the pages, so that's good. I really thought these ones were gonna be related to the fish story. But yes, we got 3 pages of the side stories done, so that leaves 4 more pages. And of those 4, technically it's 5 more, but 7 only has 1 thing on it, so this is by itself. So really it's more 4. And we'll work more on that later, and then Friday we're going to start Eve's routes. So we can start doing his routes. Why are you blurry? That was weird. But yes, I'm going to be heading out so I can go to Samurai Comics, and then after Samurai Comics and I get home and we've had dinner, I'm going to play some Zelda tonight for at least 2 hours. It might be kind of late, it might be close to midnight my time before I start because I'm a night owl in the heart of everything. So thank you guys all for being here today. Thank you Blue, thank you Nyx. Who else was here? Thank you Lore, thank you Ninja, thank you Delightful, thank you Upson, thank you Anne for hydrating me. I hope you guys have a lovely rest. Pausing because the sound all went quiet. I just didn't want to keep talking in case it went away. And I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see me live on Twitch. And then on Twitch, if you want to remember what we've done, I upload all the VODs onto YouTube and you can watch them again over there. I hope you guys have a lovely time. Bye for now.